Onyeka, 1 chance created, 2 tackles, 4 dribbles, 10 goals, 1 man of the match performance for FC Augsburg in Germany. Nelson Okeke with 1 goal, 2 interceptions, and 5 goals for Bohemians Praha in the Czech Republic. Tom Dele Bashiru, 1 chance created, 3 interceptions, 3 dribbles, 6 goals, 1 for Watford in England. Joe Aribo with 1 chance created, 2 dribbles, 2 interceptions, 5 goals, 1 for Southampton in England. Peter Agba scored a goal for NK Olympia in Slovenia. Rafael Onyedika, 1 chance created, 3 clearances, 6 goals, 1 for Club Brugge. We had James Adeni with a goal and 2 chances created for Hapoel Hadera in Israel. Christantos Uche, 1 assist and 1 red card for Getafe in Spain. And over to the forwards, David Okereke was on target, also created 1 chance for Gaziantep in Turkey. We had Moses Simon, 1 assist, 3 chances created for FC Nantes in France. Philippe Otele came off the bench to score a goal for Basel in Switzerland. Ademola Lukman, albeit not on the winning side, he had 5 chances created for Atalanta. Sunday Adetunji with 2 goals for FC Balkani. Victor Osimhen, hat-trick hero for Galatasaray. Larry Kayode, 1 goal for Eric Chelle. Emeka Namani, 1 assist for B93. Monday Etim, 1 chance created and 10 goals for Hillerod. Odion Igalo with 1 assist for Alweda. Tony Payne scored her first goal for Everton Football Club in their defeat versus Arsenal in England. Paul Onwachu scored a goal, consolation goal for Southampton in England. We also had Dixon Abiyama with an assist for 1860 Munchen. Tula Rukudare scored a goal and created 1 chance for KRC Genk in Belgium. Xavier Godwin scored 1 goal and created 1 chance for Al Dud in Saudi Arabia. Francisca Odega, 3 goals and 1 assist for Etihad Ladies in Saudi. Ahmed Adebayo, 2 goals for Tatu Tameka in Estonia. Lucky Eze, 1 goal and 1 chance created for FC Banska. Bamdele Yusuf with 1 assist for FK Vojvodina. Sani Buhari, 1 goal for FC Punic. Mavis Ogomiade with 1 goal for Dynamo České Budějovice in the Czech Republic, and then Moses David Kobnan with 1 goal and 1 chance created, man of the match off the bench for FC Krasnodar in Russia. That is how the Nigerian players performed. And of course, I might be missing some players. So shout out to everybody. And for the team of the week, we had in goal Daniel Akpeyi with a clean sheet and 3 saves from Arimo Gallant. We had in defense Calvin Bassey with a clean sheet for Fulham. Ashley Plumter, clean sheet, 1 goal, 3 assists for Al Ittihad Ladies. We had Igor Ogbu with a goal. I didn't mention him before, but Igor Ogbu made the team of the week with a goal and a clean sheet for Slavia Prague in the Czech Republic. In midfield, Moses Simon on the left with an assist for Nantes. Moses David Kobnan on the right with a goal for Krasnodar. Frank Onyeka and Nelson Okeke in the midfield. And then the 3 attackers were Tula Kodare with a goal for Genk, Francisca Odega with 3 goals and 1 assist for Etihad Ladies. And our star of the week was Victor James Osimhen with a hat-trick, his first hat-trick for Galatasaray in the Turkish Super League. So there you have it. That is how the Nigerian players performed over the weekend. Lots of top performances. Shout out to everyone. And of course, if I missed anybody, forgive me. But yes, Smith Layi, very quickly before we get into the Super Eagles talk, was there anybody that impressed you from this past weekend, other than the obvious?
Okay, I have to mention
Mm.
Victor Osimhen. Fantastic performance. But I should not mention the obvious. So
No,
let
you
me
can talk
just
about Victor
talk
Osimhen.
about
That's fine.
Kevin. Let me just talk about Kevin Bassey. A fantastic performance against Tottenham, and one of the major highlights was
Solanke.
when he no Ranke and also
Mm.
Romero. You know, when he bullied Romero, and then Fulham Instagram and they posted on their page that
Versus your
player,
player.
our defender, greater than your defender. So like it was very lovely thing, and I think he had a very commanding
Mm.
performance. So and also shout out to Crisanto Sushi. Though he got a red card, but I think he was having a very good game. Before that red card. So, but unfortunately, it
It
happens. It
happens.
happens. All these youth brands is going to achieve what he's going to learn from it. So, but I don't want to mention the obvious. Victor Osimhen, what a player he's turned out to be, and I'm going to be asking you maybe probably before the Super Eagles matter that the target you set for him, where is Victor now? So I'll be asking you that one too.
Oh, Devon, I'm answering that question now because if you guys remember when Victor Osimhen joined Galatasaray, I was here. I said he needs to score 20 before half and then 30 by the end of the season. In the comments, people were saying, IoT, you are talking as if Osimhen is not this one. Why are you setting on big target? But I said, we're talking about one of the best strikers in the world. We tell ourselves he's the best. And 30 goals in Turkey is what people are making it sound like is a big deal. And I'm happy that now, with I think maybe about 9, 10 games to go in the season, he has already shown that he's going to smash the target that I set. And for me, that is the minimum standard for a player like Victor Osimhen. So I'm excited. When I saw him score that hat trick, I was happy because I was like, why are people making it sound that time as if asking Osimhen to score 30 goals is some huge task or some huge ask? He's showing his quality, even though he's playing in a lower division. I like the fact that he's still standing out and he's showing us his quality.
No, no, no lower
Well,
division, lower
not
league.
lower league, sorry, not lower division.
I know it. I
But I'm,
know.
I'm just happy that he's standing out. But Osimhen is a quality striker. He's one player that gives every single thing, every moment of the game, trying to impress, trying to score, trying to help his team to get victory. And I mean, we saw after the game the moments that he had with some young boys. One fan that was nearly bawling his eyes out just to hug Osimhen, and Osimhen gave him his track track suits, and it was just like, a fantastic moment. I posted a clip on my Instagram earlier today. I just said, I remember when I interviewed Victor Osimhen 4 years ago. Osimhen had 159,000 followers on Instagram. As of now, he has 5.7 million followers. The growth in the last 4 years of Victor Osimhen has been absolutely incredible. So that's why sometimes when people act like, oh, I don't like Osimhen because I hold him to a high standard, or maybe I'm not easily impressed by him just scoring a goal. And I'm just like, I probably even love Osimhen more than a lot of people. But of course, to whom much is given, much is expected. And that's just the regard that I hold Osimhen in. I look at him as a top level talent, player that is going to do great things in his career, has only just begun. He's about to get into his peak. And so I expect huge things from him. I don't settle for, oh, he scores one goal in 3 matches and I should be praising him. No, if he's a random average player, sure, but not for Victor Osimhen. And I'm happy that he's doing very well. I just want to also shout out to the Etihad ladies players, Ashley Plumter and Francisca Odega. Odega has been killing it since she joined Saudi Arabian League. It's not surprising to me considering the fact that she was doing quite well in Russia before she left, and she's just been killing it. I think she has like 6 goals in 4 matches or something like that, and a couple assists. So shout out to Odega, and of course Ashley Plumter. Whether she plays in midfield or whether she plays in defense, so she's just always getting goals and assists in that league. So shout out to Ashley Plumter as well. Fantastic one for our Saudi girls. And of course, a couple other players that did very well. You mentioned Calvin Bassi. Um, I would also mention Aroko Dare with a good goal this past weekend. Frank Onyeka, fantastic performance. That performance just before the international break showed us a little bit of what we are going to be missing, but hopefully the other players can provide us, similar quality. And of course, Lukman, even though his team lost, good individual performance by him. And shout out to Tony Payne as well, scoring her first goal for Everton. Since she joined Everton, they've been playing her as a false nine, which is not her natural position. In Spain, she was typically playing from the wing. For Nigeria, she likes to play from the 10, and going and playing as a false nine. She finally scored her first goal against Arsenal, but unfortunately, Arsenal are stronger than Everton. But it was a good one. Was a good one. So yes, shout out to all the Nigerian players. Let us not spend too much time on this. Let's get into the cocoa of the Euro. We know we want to talk about the Super Eagles, we want to talk about Eric Chelle, we want to talk about the players. So this is my final notice to everyone on Instagram. Please join us on YouTube now because the stream is going to end on Instagram in less than 1 minute. So please search for Eagles Tracker on YouTube. You will see our beautiful logo and you can join us in the conversation now. Final call if you're on Instagram and other platforms, join us on YouTube now. Thank you very much. It's been like 3 days to go. 3 days to go. Eric Chelle has assembled his Avengers. We are going
Mhm.
to Kigali for vengeance. We are going there for a
Yeah,
result. We have seen how
yeah.
beautiful Kigali is, but we are going there to go and throw some dirt in their country. We are going there for a mission. I will
Mhm.
ask you before we get into all the tactical conversation, everything.
Mhm.
I know you are somebody that has been very high on the Super Eagles and on Eric Shell. Is your confidence still very high?
Yeah, yeah. I like a manager that do the talk and
Hmm.
also walk the walk. That's what I like. That I like a manager that he talk and do. I don't like when you talk too much. I don't like that. I like when you back it up with action. And you can see clearly that he said something like he wants to be a big brother to these players, and he's clearly doing that.
Mm.
You know, he joked with every one of them. He made sure that they are seeing him directly. You know, he welcomed them. The way when they were checking them in and everything, he was the first person to actually meet them. So he's doing it. And I know that we're going to get some conversations, but I'm very confident that he will deliver. I just hope that the God of soccer be on our side. You will see that there's a new
Hmm.
sheriff in town.
There's a new sheriff in town. Something that we have noticed from the Super Eagles player arrivals, Eric Chelle has been waiting at the door to greet them as they are coming into the camp. Hugging them. We saw even when Simon arrived, it's like Simon is his younger brother. They were laughing together, hugging each other, everything. This man, since he came, he has been trying to build that camaraderie. He has been trying to build that unity among the players. Do you think that, even though it's only a few days, with the people that he has had conversations with the way he's trying to be a big brother to them, do you think this is something that will benefit the Super Eagles, or does it really matter?
It does. It does. It does. One thing that that a lot of people will mention about the Guafon is his ability to manage the players, Ego and everything, to be like a father to them. He's more like a father now because Ego is like 60 years, and Eric Shell is 40 something years of age. So there's a difference in age. So this one's like a big brother to them. And some of the super good players. So for example, now Balogun is like 10 years younger than Eric Shell. I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 years younger. So, you know, people now. Eric Shell don't feel Balogun. So, just to tell you that it's like a big brother figure to them, it matters because they have to feel comfortable. For example, now there's some players that have never met him before. And if you look at, and what I observe is that they even give him that respect because of what he did with Mali. So for me, I think it's very vital. This guy's morale needs to actually be very, very good. They need to want to play for him. And these guys will
Hmm.
play for him. They can kill a pig for him.
Hmm. No, I mean, I've been happy to see that. I've been happy to see him just trying to make everybody feel welcome to play for him. When I speak to certain players and talk about new managers, they are always using the first 1 2 days to source out the manager to see who is this guy? Does he really know what he's doing? But I like the fact that he has tried to establish relationships with some of them ahead of time. So they're not coming to camp and looking at him like, oh, who is this new person? Who is this new face? They're already familiar with him. They already know what to expect from him. And I said it earlier on the previous show. One of the things that I love the most about what he did was speaking to the leaders in the team, the Ekongs, the Osimens, and telling them that, see, guys, if you run,
Everest.
if you are working your tail off, all the other players would have no choice but to do the same. And those players
Mhm.
are going to help him to set the tone, to get his ideas into the rest of the team. I mean, it goes without saying that we are in a tough situation. So everybody knows what is at stake. This is about your own personal pride, even. It's about your legacy, your career. Imagine, say, Osimhen no go World Cup for his career. What kind of
Mhm.
bad taint on his legacy would that be? We want to Osimhen next year. We want to put you in Ballon d'Or conversation. So these are the things that help. Because if somebody goes to World Cup and balls out, they will not even consider you that did not play in the tournament. So I,
Mhm.
I I really really believe and hope that the players are pumped up. But talking about player arrivals, I want to take us a little bit into something that is relatively unserious because it got a lot of attention on social media. I'll play this video and then we'll talk about it. Okay. So in that video, we see majority of our init boys with Ndidi, arriving in camp. One thing that a lot of people commented on was the bags, their luggage. You see all of them with
Mm-hmm.
the same brand, both the carry-on and the suitcase. Smilai,
Mm-hmm.
you are in the UK, so maybe narrating a trend for for England with that. Me, I don't know. But those tote bags, those Goyard tote bags, what do you think about
Mm-hmm.
them? Are they? Is that your style? Is that fashionable to you? Because somebody on my page was saying, in the name of fashion, they are carrying women's handbag. So,
No, no, no. I think if you look at Sweden, I saw some. I think it's what is trending
mm.
currently now, and I think that that is what the baddies actually what they're doing. Doing currently now because I wouldn't say it's actually what women's handbag. I think it's just what is trending currently now. And you can see that all of them actually what is even the one from Italy is Ghanaian,
Wait, is
so
he Lookman?
it's not as
Hey boy, he's a UK
yeah.
boy now. Even though he's a
And
UK
you can,
boy.
and yeah, and so that's why that is even based in
Mm.
it and everything is carrying it. So for me, I think it's what's actually what trending. It's not only about Nigeria. I think I also saw some players too. I mean, for Sweden's play, I think Alanga. So
Elanga
if
is,
I don't have
is in
Alanga,
England too.
yes. So I think it's what is trending currently. Yeah, but for me, I won't say I'm a big fan of that. But it's good if
Mm.
they enjoy that.
Those
Enjoy
bags,
that.
one if it depend on the style you buy, one is like 5,000 6,000. Ah,
Yes, sir.
football
Yes,
money is good though. Hey God.
yes,
So like,
yes.
how old is
It's
your
like
child? He done the trade up.
there's the register for academy anyway. If it's good enough for
Ah, football
place,
money is good though.
it's,
Football money is good.
it's
Oh yeah.
good. I can see that. We will see that Osnedor will have. We will see all of them we will have now because it's what is trending currently among
Mm,
the football
mm.
players.
That's
Among the
another
football
thing with
boys.
business. And if you have any like brand, anything that you're selling and you know that it's
Mm-hmm.
nice, just try to get into
Mm-hmm.
the hands of a couple football players and the rest of them would, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned one keyword. It's nice because there was a popular Nigerian musician that brought his products to. I don't want to mention the name. It was his products to maybe Jackson
Mm,
or where, but it just like the product must be good. You just have to like make sure that it's good. Look at Uris Wabara, the guy that was playing for
mm.
Man City before. You can see seven stores now, one of the eyes, one of the biggest stores in the UK. So for me, it depend make it good and get it to like few people. When people start commenting on social media, you're like, oh,
Mm.
your thing is very good. Yeah. For me,
And
it's not bad.
one
It's
of the
not bad.
tactics, I think I can't remember which brand used it for. They used it on I think Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner one of those times. If you want a big star
Mhm,
to wear your brand or to buy your brand,
mhm,
if you
mhm,
can reach all the people that you know are close to that person. So, for example, now if you want
mhm,
Iwobi to wear your brand and you cannot get in touch with Iwobi, try to get in touch with his
mhm.
friends, the ones that are not that famous, the ones
Right.
that are just there. So, by the time you give
Yeah.
3 or 4 of his friends that your products now, Iwobi go to see that, where did you guys get this thing? That
Yeah.
curiosity, if he sees
Mhm,
all his friends with it, then himself goes, where did you get it
mhm,
from? They say, it's from Smith Layi's brand, though. Before you know it now, it will be to don't
mhm,
hit you up. Say, Smith Layi, yeah, you sent all my friends. Where's my own now?
uh-huh.
And like that, you can get your stuff
Yes.
in the hands of these guys. But again, this is just random branding talk. But these guys are superstars. They get a lot of things. So it has to be quality. It has to be fashionable. It has to be something that you like. It
Yeah.
has to feel
Just
luxury
yeah.
because they have money for luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be lovely. So not even if it's good and you say that it's £100. They will
Yeah,
not
it has to be
buy it. You
luxury.
have to see
Mm,
10,000, 10,000, and the
mm.
qualities must be there. Make sure it's
Even this
basic.
Goyard, I went to their website to just see if I can order. You cannot just buy online. You have to contact them. Oh. With them knows they you be serious person before they waste their time. Me, I just go on window shop. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not buying $5,000 bag. Then even they put price for their
Yeah.
website. I say, okay, this one is
Just
serious.
it's cheap.
Mm.
Cheap. Yeah.
Okay. Still, before we get into conversation, serious football conversation. Also another video that I want to play. This was from Snapchat. Olaino and Alex will be our roommates in camp, and there was a very interesting situation at this when they arrived in camp. Let me
Mhm.
play the
Hey, it started. Alex, don't kiss me, oh. Do not kiss me, oh. Double bed. Double bed. Oh my days, bro. Surely this
Double
can't be
bed.
separated, man, because, bro, I'll sleep on the floor.
Double bed.
I can't believe we have to share a bed, bro. Man,
Mm. So, I mean, Olaino and Alexi will be good friends, of course, known each other for a very, very, very long time. Arrive in camp and then they meet one bed in their in their room. Olaino is such a
Mhm.
character, man, such a funny guy. I say, Alex, oh, don't kiss me.
And the good thing is that I remember when Fulham played against Nottingham Forest. Well, I had the worst game ever this season,
Mm.
against the Alex Iwobi. So just like they are friends. When you play against your friend, no matter how serious you are, it's go be like the guy in the back garden. Nothing you go do. So from there, conversation actually was setting. So I can see the chemistry there. In fact, I know that it might be Lukman and Basi
Together in their own
in
room.
together, or Basi and
Mm.
Aribo. I don't know how they're gonna actually to put them together, but they're gonna share the bed. They're gonna order for the new bed, so
They've already given them
maybe
two different beds.
two different beds. Okay, two different beds, so that at the end of the day, you know, all I know is so funny.
Olaino is a hilarious character. But again, I like the
Yeah.
fact that the spirits are high, they are excited, they're
Mm-hmm.
having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even in a serious situation, you still need to be able to enjoy yourself, enjoy the moments, be calm. If sometimes some fans are like, oh, I even saw, even when we posted the video of just them arriving, some fans don't get joy. People are already saying, hey, they are coming to show off their luxury, they are coming to this one, they're coming to that one. And I always say this with all due respect, but Nigerians, we look at things sometimes too much from a poverty lens. Somebody is
Mm-hmm.
arriving, they are holding luxury bag. You say they are showing off. They
Mm-hmm.
are not showing off, they just arrived. It's just because
Yes,
you cannot afford that. So you see it and you
that's what.
think, oh, it is showing off. It's the same way you have your $100 bag and you arrive. Nobody says you are showing off. But because
Mm-hmm.
you see them with their own, to them that $600 is their $100. It's not. It's nothing to them. So when they arrive, and I said, people, why Nigerians always just pick on small, small irrelevant things to just make into an issue. Even the video of it will be an I'm not just joking. People are already saying that they should focus, things like that. And I was just laughing. I'm just like, Nigerians sometimes we take things way, way, way more seriously than they need to be taken. Because I think that camaraderie, that friendship, that happiness, that joy is good for the spirits going into these matches. When it's time for training, when it's time for serious things, the players will be serious. They will do the job that needs to be
Yeah.
done. But when they're not training, when they're amongst themselves, they need to keep the spirits high. In camp, a lot of players have said this before, they have so much time and you have to
Yeah.
do something with that time. And some of that
Yeah.
something might be gaming, like a lot of them like to do, and another time might just be joking
Yeah.
around with your friends. Did you want to say something like
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say something like that. Do you see any GoPro camera
from William Tristekong?
around, or yeah, or
No,
there's no
because
GoPro?
when he arrived, he said he was talking to Victor Modo, and he said, me and you go to fight for the same content, though. So I'm sure he must be
Okay.
thinking about his content and capturing, the travels for us. So, I think Ekong is
Yeah.
still going to
Yeah.
capture his content. Well, no, for me, there's nothing wrong with that. When it's time for serious
Nothing
things,
wrong. I
yeah,
enjoyed the previous ones that he did during we saw what we couldn't see there, like the inner
exactly. The
details,
behind the
the
scenes, the things that a lot of
behind
us now, we only
the
get to see match day, we get to see a little bit of training here and there, but it's nice to see what happens in the lives of the footballers. I especially enjoy that kind of
yes,
content because I love football, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah, and those football
exactly
lifestyle.
because I will never get to be a player, I will never get to be there. I'm never planning to work for the
Hmm.
NFF to be in their camp with them. So, from the player's point of view, that's the only way I can really, really see what camp life is like. So yes, shout out to them for all that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Smilai,
Yeah.
you sent me this one earlier today, an interview that
Mm-hmm.
the Super Eagles media officer had with Ifeanyi
Mm-hmm.
Udeze and Jonathan Akubowere on Brilla.
Yeah.
He called in from the
Yeah.
camp in Kigali, spoke about the mood in the camp, and spoke about some of the expectations that Coach Eric Chelle has. Not trying to look too far ahead, but Coach Eric Chelle has made it clear to his staff and to everybody that cares to know that he plans to win all his matches. Win, he did not say, oh, I just want, he said, I want to win all my matches. I want to
Mhm.
qualify for the World Cup. And even in
Mhm.
December, I want to win the AFCON. This man has
Mhm.
come in. This is similar to what Jose Pesero did when he came and he told us that he wants
Mhm.
to win the AFCON with Nigeria. He has come in, he has told us, I want to win every match. I want to win the AFCON.
Mhm.
I want to qualify
Mhm.
for the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Do you like the fact that he's speaking up like this? Because on that show, I remember Akpubore was saying that sometimes you need to manage expectations. Don't come and say all these things
Mhm.
because if you don't achieve it, then people are going to say, oh, but you said this, you said that. So, do you think it is good that the coach is making these kinds of intentions clear from the start? Or do you think he should calm down a little bit and let's see how things go first?
That is his character. And when you start, when you are a player CEO, you have to set a
Mm,
target for yourself. If you don't set a target, that means that you are not serious. So you must set a target for yourself. You must know exactly what you want to do. Part of what he said was that he gave them, he told the backroom staff, all those Ngumayade, all those from Sefoge, all of them that what to expect from them. So it's not only about the players now, it's also about what to expect from his backroom staff. Because this success, it's not only about Eric Chelle, it's not only about this, also about these guys. I'm even hearing that all things being equal, you might be seeing Freddie
mm.
Canute, of the backroom staff,
In
of
this
the Super
camp or
Eagles,
in the future?
No, 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 in the future one. Freddie Canute to work with
Mm,
the strikers. You know, he's hitting the ground running, and I like that. IoT, you are close to these guys. When he spoke to them, nobody ever said that this guy doesn't know what he's saying. He might not be fluent in English, but he will communicate with
mm,
you. And I'm also happy that everybody around him now, they know their space. I don't know, maybe you heard about this issue. There was, somebody, I don't know if you heard about it. There was somebody that was asking him a question, say, how was the weather? He was say, it's none of your business. So,
I didn't
did you
hear
hear about
about
that?
that though.
Okay, okay, okay. Because somebody that posted it deleted it after like after a few minutes. Some people see that maybe might be lost in translation, maybe doesn't
Mm,
understand English. But we'll say that if you want to ask me a question, ask me a
mm,
proper question. How is the weather? What's your business
mm,
about that? Come here to and I'm happy that he's setting the rules. I remember there was Super Eagles coach that they were doing Founded Yam, Fufu, which one is better? Super Eagles coach. When you are the boss,
mm.
you are the boss. You must set the tone. All those things that we're doing under Finidi Joy and Neguavon, I think all those things will stop now. So for me, I'm happy that he's saying that. I'm happy he's telling those people too. If you are even that FOG, I don't expect him to be saying that
Mm.
umbrella, honestly. So it's na inner discussion. So you must be able to manage what you put out, very well. So I'm happy he's letting them know all those things. So and they need to actually up their games because when you want to be a winner, you must also have winners around you. You can't do it alone.
Hmm. It has to be all hands on deck. Everybody has to be
Mm-hmm.
performing at their optimum because if anybody
Yes.
is not, that person is going to
Mm-hmm.
drag others back. Because you
Yeah.
cannot afford to be. It's like if you are running for your life, you cannot be looking back and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, run faster, run faster, run faster." Everybody has to be
Mm-hmm.
running quickly. Everybody has to be focused on the target and working towards that target. I like the fact that he's setting these kind of high expectations because for me, what do they say? Shoot for the moon, and even if you don't get there, you will land somewhere among the stars. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I at a big job. The Super Eagles is not a small job. It's not a job that you should be looking at and saying, "Well, let's see how things go," or "Oh, let's see if we can win our first game." No, you manage expectations among your players. Nobody should get carried away before things actually start to begin. but you have to set these big goals. And I'm happy that he's setting these big targets. He's letting his whole staff, backroom staff, down to the media officer, down to the kit man, everybody, welfare officer, everybody be aware that, see, we have big goals, so we have to work, all put in the work to be able to achieve those goals. And speaking about just his mentality in camps, like, we've also heard that he has informed the players that no visitors will be allowed in his camp. Something that has been discussed
Yes.
among fans and among the media previously was that the Super Eagles players are too distracted when they are in camp.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from journalists to content creators, not even just sports content creators, to comedians, to skit makers, to influencers,
Mm-hmm.
every Tom, Dick, and Harry shows up in Super Eagles camp and is trying to create content. We see people entering the players' rooms, things like that. Just clear lack of rules. Now that the coach has told them no visitors allowed, do you think that is a step in the right direction from Eric Chelle?
Oh no, 100%. We complained about it. We complained about that. The obvious example was when the guy, is it
Mm,
Kata Efe? When he while
mm,
somebody talks, so his saliva
mm,
comes out. I think he did that one deliberately. Kata Efe. When
mm,
he talks, when he came to visit for the face, I saw the way, inviting players when you have a crucial game. For me, I think that one is too much. It's too much. I think the rules are actually what nice. No visitors. If you want to vibes, if you want to do anything after the game, just go. Let's go. Just go. It's just for 4 days. Let's just focus on this game and do well. That's the most important thing. And I'll be supporting him too if he brings out the hammer against any
mm,
arrogant player. Any player that's not actually performing well. If you set those rules there, I was hearing that the access to the players was
mm,
limited today. you know. So even people that went to go and get content, could not be able to was limited today because job is already starting. So I like that. I like that. I like that, and it's going to continue to tomorrow too, and also the day after. So let's see how it goes. I just hope that journalists that followed the NFF to Kigali will understand that this is a different ball game, and we will not go and gang up against this man. So for me, I think it's a step in the
mm.
right direction.
I mean, do you think this is only for the Kigali camp, or does it extend even when they go to Uyo?
Yeah, it sense to when they go to Europe, because I also spoke to some people that are very close to the team that are organizing all these things around. That part of what they resolved, this committee, this presidential task force, is that they want to limit access to those players. They want those players to concentrate on what they are doing, and they want them to just focus on the task ahead, because Mr. President is interested, in what they are doing, because he asked them that with this position that you are now, can you qualify? He asked them, those who say you are in number four, I mean number is it
Number five, Abi,
number four,
are
yeah.
we not fifth?
Well,
Mhm.
fifth, yeah, fifth, yes. Can you qualify? So say, I can still qualify. So it's interested. So part of what the result is that the guys are too distracted. They want them to start. They want them to focus more, which is very
Mm,
important. A close camp is
mm.
better for
No,
Nigeria.
I think I agree. That concentration, everybody needs to know that
Hmm.
this is serious, serious stuff. No time for jokes, no time for play. When
Hmm.
obviously I still, because I'm a media person, I still believe that, one day media access for 1 hour, 15 minutes before
Hmm.
training, before they get into any of the serious training, maybe when they're doing their warm-ups, give media the chance to
Hmm.
just come. That's which is typical everywhere. For the first 15 minutes, you can just come and just take pictures. You're not speaking to anybody, just taking pictures and doing your reports from pitch side. And after those 15 minutes, the media goes, the coach gets into it with the players, they do their training. And then, of course, you can see them on match day. After the game, one or two players in the mix zone, things like that can do interviews. But I think it definitely should be limited. People should not just have unbridled access to the players. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry should not be able to get into camp, both in Kigali and also when they are in Uyo, because again, that especially in Nigeria, all sorts of people are able to get into the camp. And unfortunately, like you said, hopefully the media understand and they don't, because we know like it
Hmm.
didn't work under the I remember when Randy Wardrum kind of tried to do similar thing, the whole media in Nigeria turned against him. They started putting all sorts of negative stories about him to the point where the man just did not care for Nigeria media again, you know. But
Hmm.
I like the mentality, I like the discipline that he's trying to instill, I like the measures that he's trying to put in place. But let me ask you this question. with all these disciplinary measures that he's trying to put in place, if God forbid, oh, but let's say Victor Osimhen should break the
Mm-hmm.
rules,
Mm-hmm.
would you say Osimhen should not play, or do they punish him in a different way but still allow him to play?
For him to bench the best player in my league.
Hmm.
That's why I was saying that this game is coming too early for him. And I think there's one thing I like about him is that he always look for a way to have
Hmm.
substitutes different in different positions. But he cannot do that one now because of the limited time
Hmm.
he's having in this thing. So if Victor Osimhen breaks the rule and is well settled, he can win these two games and he play for any match in June, and he can have alternatives in
Hmm.
so many areas. And one player is acting discipline, the
Hmm.
players will suffer.
Hmm.
So, and I want to ask you a question too. We're talking about how to control them in Uyo. Apart from one of my investigations is that some people normally go and lodge in that hotel
Before the players arrive.
before the players arrive. How can he stop that? How can he limit access to those players when some girls
You
already
know,
lodged in that
see, at the end
hotel?
of the day, is a private, institution, is a business.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel cannot say they are
Mm-hmm.
going to close every other room because Super Eagles are coming.
What
No,
about
I
floor?
mean,
His floor, like
if
okay,
the Super Eagles will pay for one floor, but at the end of the day, I think
mhm,
it is about the discipline and the players knowing the rules of camp and what they are allowed to do and not allowed to do. When the NFL,
mhm,
rather when the Super Falcons came to play in Canada, I went to their hotel.
mhm,
And I know
mhm,
then they had relatively strict rules because when I was talking to some
mhm,
players, they said, we cannot pass this point. We cannot go to this point. We cannot be seen taking you to this place. You get like, it was like there were restrictions. I happened to see them because they were coming down for their meal, and on the way to their meal
uh-huh,
in the lobby of the hotel, they saw me, they said hi. There were some other fans that came to greet them, but it was not the kind of engagement whereby I can tell somebody, yeah, sit down, let's start creating content. Or, oh, we are
uh-huh,
come, let come and
mm,
do this skit, do this, act this thing for me. It was not that kind of engagement. It was like, okay, you can talk for maybe 5 minutes, just quick hello, 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 everything. But the coach was watching, so it's like they say hello quickly, one, two things, and then they go. It was after the major engagement that they were able to come and say, okay, let's, sit down and have a conversation, for a longer period of time. You still want to allow the players to be able to live their lives a little bit,
free.
but there have to be clear rules for
Mhm,
them, where to go, where not to
mhm,
go, where you can take people to,
mhm,
where you cannot take people to. At this time, you have to be back in your room, lights out. You cannot be meeting somebody in the lobby at 11 p.m. By then, you should be asleep, things like that. So, for me, I think it's going to be hard relatively to restrict interaction in a public hotel, but at the same time, there need to be rules of engagement. The players need to understand that, see, it's about hi, you can talk for 1 minute, you keep it pushing. You cannot stay there, you cannot start acting skit, you cannot tell somebody, yeah, come up to the room, come and let's see the merch that you brought. Things like that. It just cannot happen. So I hope that PP, we always respect him. We look at him as somebody in high regard, team manager. Hopefully, he also sets the standard and doesn't allow people to do those kind of things. And I think the leaders in the team, the Ekongs, the Osimens, they also have a duty to tell these players these things. I want to believe that by now they would have had a team meeting. The coach would have introduced himself
mhm.
formally to
Yeah,
everybody.
between
The
them two,
players would have
yeah,
spoken to
yeah.
themselves as well. So everybody should be aware of what is expected in terms of behavior going into these two matches. So I want to believe that it shouldn't be an issue, and it will be a bit disappointing if it becomes something contentious in Uyo. And especially disappointing if we manage to drop any points, which I really hope does not happen. I really, really hope it does not happen. Um, okay, Smilai, let us get
Yeah.
into conversation about the game itself. Let's get into conversation about the game itself. The Amavubi of Rwanda, you always have a lot of knowledge about the history, the backstory. What can you tell us about Rwanda in terms of their style, in terms of their football, and in terms of whatever head to head or rivalry that they have with the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
So they call them the Amavubi, of Rwanda. They are a team that have been very difficult for Nigeria, even in our golden years, to beat. right at home. I remember that not qualifying for the World Cup, in 2006, it was the game we drew in Kigali at the old
Mm.
Amaro Stadium. Then I remember when Jimmy Gatete, scored that goal. And the I was watching the black and white TV, so I did the it was that then there was no really this thing. The internet was not on internet, so the ball was we don't know where the ball is. We just saw some people celebrating, after they have actually was scored. So it was very hard for us to actually beat them, was not beat them in Kigali before. And of recent we actually were drill nil in the recent World AFCON qualifier. So our victories has been in Abuja, and also so our victory against them have been in Abuja in 2005 and in 2004, and we've not actually won at all, in their home ground. So they're a team that similar to like Angola style, we barely beat Angola, in our games, but it's just Angola and Rwanda, similar style, similar difficulty. Yeah. They are not big team, but they look for a way to play against Nigeria. And we're going to go to the tactics now, so I
Mm.
can explain to you why they are
Okay.
successful in their tactics.
Just looking at the recent form of Rwanda, in their last five
Hmm.
matches, they have 3 wins and 2 defeats. They fell to defeat
Hmm.
3-2 in a friendly against South Sudan, and also
No, it's a chance
Mm.
qualifier.
against South Sudan. Okay.
Yeah,
And they lost 1-0 against Libya in their AFCON qualifying, and also lost 3-0 against Benin Republic in AFCON qualifying.
yeah.
So, but I mean,
Hmm.
very importantly, they defeated Nigeria in November. So that one is going to be fresh in their memory. When you look at that, I mean, like, do you think
Hmm.
that that recent defeat that we suffered against Rwanda, is that going to play any kind of psychological factor in this upcoming match? Are the Rwandans going to feel like they can beat us because they beat us recently? Are the Super Eagles going to feel like are they going to feel the effect of losing to that team in November? What do you think?
No, I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be, it's not gonna, it's gonna be different. Super Eagles will be pumped up that a team that can beat them at two, they must not underrate them. That is why I think Super Eagles might be pumped up for that. And also Rwanda too, we look at it. Come on, if we could beat these guys at home, but we could get at least a draw in Kigali. We're gonna be following them too. They'll be thinking about a draw against Nigeria and a win against Lesotho. So for me, I think this time around now, we played under different coaches then. It wasn't Osimhen Governor was our coach, and it was Splittler, Thomas Splittler that was their coach
Yeah.
then. So, but now there's like new man in charge now. So, new man, new idea, new tactics and everything. Though the circumstance that led to their living of their coach is different from our own. Our own because we want a better, man in charge. Their own because they couldn't negotiate the contract renewal with the German man. German man said he's going
Mm.
for retirement. He's actually going to retire. They couldn't actually get him back to stay with them. So they had to like rush and go and get someone that understands African football very well to come and show and do them. So it's a different type of like a different game now. Because the guy too in charge of them is also meeting the players for the first time,
Mm.
this weekend.
So it's two teams with two new coaches trying to just get their feet wet and get an understanding of the players.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's start with Rwanda, the home team. New
Mm-hmm.
coach, an Algerian coach coming into
Mm-hmm.
the side. You have spoken about him previously, but can
Mm-hmm.
you give us a better understanding of what kind of style, what kind of tactics, what kind of ideas can we expect the Rwandans to show us in this match on Friday?
It's a lot of people will know him for the comment he made during AFCON, and he was banned, he was suspended, so that Morocco are cheating, they are this and that and that, he made that allegation, that a coach should not be making, in an AFCON tournament. So because he lost 3-0 against it was coaching Tanzania then, the game was against Algeria. So he banned, he just got back from the ban. That's why he's in charge of Rwanda now. So he's a guy that is very conservative, coach. He does not like to give much away. Early in the game, he shows his intention that what he wants to do. So it's not what to. In fact, even as a neutral, if we watch the game directly, we know exactly that. This is what he wants to do. When he wants to play against a team, he can get result. He play in a 4-3-3 formation. When he wants to play in a team that he thinks that he might not get a result. He play 5-4-1. The 5-4-1 could turn to like a 6-3-1 at the end of the day, or 6-4-0. It depends on how you see it. A midfielder drops the back line, then they soak in pressure. So he's just a guy that is always on the touchline, full of energy, telling the guys to make sure they take position. But you know, just like a normal African coach, very tight at the back. He forms this diamond midfield formation. He likes to push his opponents to the side and go and cross. So that was what he did in most of the games when he was in Tanzania, especially against Morocco in the World Cup qualifier. He was pushing Hakimi, further away from the goal. But this guy, former Chelsea player, what's he called? The guy from left foot, whatever left foot, former Chelsea player. What's he called again?
From
Left
which
footer
country?
from Morocco.
Ziyech.
Yes, just took his shot from nowhere, and the ball actually was ended up at the back of the net. So it's a guy that is very defensive. He does not give much away, when it comes to this thing. But I don't know his plan for Nigeria, because he'll be thinking, this boy did it now. And I know Rwanda media will come after him. That we won this thing and you want to go and be defending. You attack them. But he himself will know that can he attack Nigeria? But it's just a guy that his formation is like 4-5-1 formation, or 5-4-1 formation when he's actually playing against a very
Okay. How about Coach Eric Chelle? I mean, we've seen him coach Mali, did well with Mali at the AFCON. Coming into the Nigerian team now, what kind of tactics do you think we can expect? I mean, they say that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So, what are you expecting to
Mhm.
see from Coach Eric Chelle and these new Super Eagles under his management?
I think one of the problems that Pacero faced when he was a coach was that they overran the midfield in most cases. When Fidelity took over the Super Eagles, they overran the midfield, against Nigeria in most cases. So when Egwavo took charge too of the Super Eagles too, the midfield was still a very big problem. So, and there's a common denominator there. It's actually what Alex Iwobi and also Red Ndidi. The two of them, I don't think they have enough legs. So Alex Iwobi is a very good marker. He presses the ball well, but I don't think he's a good marker. And secondly, too, Red Ndidi is a good marker, but does not have the legs anymore. So I think Eric Chelle will need to look for a way to sort out that midfield. So if it's based on the way Rwanda played under the former coach, Eric Chelle will set up in a 4-4-2 formation or a 4-1-2-1-2 formation that we can box them, play them through the middle. But I think the way this coach sets up, it might be slightly be different for Eric Chelle. So I'm seeing like a 4-4-2 direct formation that the two right midfielders will not be like a typical winger that just like like just accelerated player type of team. Like they're just going to be in that midfield to make sure that they choke the midfield very well. But he would not want to put a striker, just one striker on the Rwanda, two center defenders. I
Two
think it's going to be
strikers
two
up
strikers
front,
there.
which is
Strikers there.
which is
And
also what I'm
yeah,
kind of expecting from him. You want to go on, sir?
yeah, so which I think he still actually will do, because they were so comfortable against Boniface in their away leg, in the first half, and again against Victor Osimhen too, until they brought in Moses Simon. That was when we start threatening, because Lukman had a chance to support Victor Osimhen up front. So I think that we want the pressure on Rwanda as early as the first half. So that's why I'm thinking that he might go for two strikers. I think he's going with Victor Osimhen and Lukman.
Okay. Just before we go on, I just want to say, guys, if you want us to take your comments, let your comments be accompanied by a super chat. Okay. Is a new rule now. 100 naira super chats, 200 naira super chats, $100 super chats, all counts. But 1,000
1,000
pounds,
pounds
any
only.
amount, but let your comment be accompanied by a super chat. Otherwise, we'll just keep on having a conversation, you know. But I'm going to take Charles' comments because Charles already um, left a super
Charles
chat
has been,
earlier.
well,
Charles says, to me, their previous coach is better than this one. He had a lower winning percentage to Eric, but I saw their high intensity training. It was too elite. So it's been like, in your opinion, do you think they've got a better coach than they did before, or is the new coach not as good as Splitter, who was there before?
he's not as good as Splitter was actually was there before. The Splitter can take risk. I don't think this coach can take risk. I even saw the game that he set up attacking against Niger Republic. It wasn't convincing. This guy cannot take risk, and the issue is that he goes straight into the shell. When it is not go, or he go on rampage when it is not going in favor. He's not a cool dead guy. That's one thing about him. And don't forget that he's going to be working with APL and Rayon Spawn players for the first time. So, it's not as if he's building them. These guys who I'm talking about, they failed to qualify for Chan. They
Hmm.
lost to South Sudan. So, to tell you that the same player that different coach Andrew lost to South Sudan, to tell you that it was their former coach that was just trying to push
Hmm.
these players. So, let's see what he is going to actually do, because it took me a while when he was in Tanzania to work his magic with Tanzania too. I'm talking about the new coach Adam Roshi, but I just think that their former coach is a better, more experienced coach
Hmm.
than this guy.
Okay, so Adele and Moshe were hoping that he's not able to get them playing in the way that he wants them to play quite yet. Quite yet. Okay, let's talk about key players. We'll start from the
Mhm,
Rwandan side. I remember before the game in November, I highlighted two players in particular. One player was
mhm,
Ntwari Fiacre, their goalkeeper, now for Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa. Second choice in Kaiser Chiefs, I
mhm.
must say. Um, since he
First
played
choice.
against Nigeria in November, he has not played again.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's his first
but I
choice.
mean, we remember his performance against Nigeria, making save after
Mhm,
save after save. So we want to,
mhm. It was
yeah,
first choice there.
but I mean, I don't think he would have lost his ability per se. Do you look at Fakri Ntwari and think this is a guy that can make a difference for Rwanda in this match from the goalkeeping position?
It's not kept a game for 4 months. It's not even kept in a friendly game. Even in cup games, in
Nedbank Cup.
Netbank Cup, yeah, it is not kept there. It's been third choice goalkeeper. In most cases, he has not even been in the
Hmm.
squad at all. So, like, it's just like keeping your backyard at your team. The match day experience is different from training. It's going to be match rusty. But I won't be surprised though, because the goalkeeper that's kept for Zimbabwe against Nigeria, the World Cup qualifier, did not keep for 1 year, and he was saving shots. And he was saving shots. So for me, I don't think it will be top. Even before that one, it was conceding a lot of goals for Kaiser Chiefs. So if we don't play straight shots, because the only one playing last time was straight shots, just try and place it very well. It's
Hmm,
going to be in
hmm.
trouble.
So just try to pick your spot and don't just play shots directly at Ntwari and you think we'll be able to beat him. Okay. Another player
Yes.
of note that I noted again in the game against Rwanda in November, Innocent Nshuti
Mm-hmm.
scored the winning goal for
Mm-hmm.
them. This guy plays for Sabail FK in Azerbaijan. Of course, in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, if we call anybody from Azerbaijan, it will be like, what? Who is this guy? How can you call this guy to Super Eagles? And this is their talisman.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that
Mm-hmm.
tends to get most of their goals. So far in the Azerbaijan Premier League, 8 games, no goal for him.
That's all since the score against Nigeria.
But I mean, do you think he can make a difference, or is there nothing to worry about with Ekong Abasi at the helm?
With due respect to him, he scored against South Africa in the
Mm.
World Cup qualifier. You know, he scored against Nigeria in the AFCON qualifier. I think he scored against Benin Republic also.
He scored against
He
Benin
scored against
AFCON
Benin Republic
qualifier.
also AFCON qualifier. So, he's a guy that he knows how the team plays. He's a guy that runs, make those runs and everything. It's not a threat, but my problem is just that if we are not pacey, if we are not good on the turn, it can actually cause us problem. It's also good in the air. That's one thing about it. It presses a lot, also good in the air. So we have to be comfortable on the ball, make sure that we control the game very well. So Sutu, I don't see him as a threat because he's not a light player, but those guys, we need to tame them very well.
Hmm, hmm. Okay. Another interesting Rwandan player to note is Jihad Bizimana. He is one of their key players, tends to run the game for them from their midfield, their captain,
Hmm.
plays for Al Hilal Tripoli in Libya.
Just moved, yeah.
Again, if Nigeria call anybody where they play for Libya, people are going to be saying, "What? How can this guy be making the team?"
Hmm.
He moved from Ukraine. So, do you think we should be concerned about this guy? Does Ndidi, does Onyedika, whoever is in that midfield, is there something in particular that they need to be wary of when it comes to Bizimana? Or do you think that we should have the midfield in control?
We should not be wary of Bisimana.
Mm,
We should look for how to get past Bisimana. Everything that if you want to beat Rwanda, you have to target Bisimana. And
mm,
that was what Eritrea did, that they beat them 3-0. The issue is this, it's very simple. And if Eric Chelle is listening here, it's very simple. Dribble him. If you pass the ball to Bisimana, he cannot play with the ball,
mm,
but he's a very good marker. The moment Chukwueze took the ball in the away leg, dribbled him, he fouled him straight away. He
mm,
can't. His recovery rate is so low, but it's very good position. It's very, very good positioning. So he's still got the legs, he's still got the legs. And there's the one thing that I do too. When they have a throwing on one side, they throw to him, they throw the ball to him and they cross the ball to the box. This is against Nigeria.
mm,
That's one tactic against Libya too. So Bismarck is a key player, but for me, it should never be a threat. Even it's not been impressive for Alali Tripolis. He's a young.
mm.
The fans have been shouting, because it's a big money move from Ukraine to Libya.
Libya.
It's not been impressive, for Ali Tripoli. So for me, I think it's a guy that we can look for a way to get him sent off.
He gets him sent off.
Yes,
Hmm, hmm.
yes.
Okay. So, is there any player that you see on the Rwandan squad that you consider as a potential threat, or are they all players that we should be able to handle fairly comfortably?
Mutinsi.
Mutsinzi, I think that's his name.
Yeah, he plays for Zira FC too. I think that is probably in Azerbaijan too.
Mm,
Zira FC in Azerbaijan. That one has been on the regular. He has played regularly, though he has been on the bench too several times too. But he has been playing on a regular basis too. He's very strong in the air. If you look at it very well, he's a guy that don't have something tied at the back of his head.
mm.
He looks like
He's a tall guy.
a very, very tall guy, very, very tall guy. So he dominated Victor Boniface in the air. I'm sorry to say about Boniface again, but
No, no, it's fine.
he dominated Boniface throughout
Mm,
the game, like aerially. So, and these are their strength. They want us to go and cross the ball because they have tall defenders to win the ball. So they're going to try and kick Victor Osimhen. That's why I think that we should look for a different approach in this game. Look for a way to play through them in the middle, target Benzema, and we're going to actually will score. So for me, I think Motusi is a very key player. We're going to see him very active on Victor Osimhen
mm,
because his strength is aerially. They don't like when you run at them. They cannot play ball. But if you cross the ball, they will win it.
mm. Okay. So let me now ask you. Um,
So I want to
since-
talk about one player too.
okay.
He's called Kevin Muhire. I don't know if you know Kevin Muhire. He was on the bench in the game against Nigeria in Uyo, but
Mm.
he's the captain of the Ashanti team. So he called Kevin Muhire.
Plays
He's
for Ryan Sports.
Ryan Sport. He's the captain of the Ryan Sports too. So I saw him play against APR of Rwanda, APR Kigali 2 weeks ago at the venue, Amaro Stadium too. It was so lively,
Mm,
fantastic attacking footballer. He has played in Europe before he actually moved back home. Very, very good on the ball. If he's not playing, Ruboneka will play. Ruboneka will play if
mm,
he's not playing. So he's a very, very good player. And I think that is the most intelligent of them.
mm.
That's why I'm saying it's the most intelligent of them. He knows how to make his runs. He's very energetic, and he's a leader. When you have a captain of the main team and the captain of the champ team, in the same team, two captains in the same team, that's what you actually get it from them. He plays for Rayon Sport, very very good player. So I saw the picture with him and the new coach discussing with him to know how important the guy can actually be for Rwanda. So Kemi is a player that actually look forward to. I want to mention one guy too, uh, Oborenga.
Hmm.
Omborenga. He just lost his dad about a day ago or so. He lost his dad about a day or so. So he might not be part of the team because I don't think he's going to be mentally stable to play that game. It's very, very important for them. I think he plays for APR of Rwanda. A very, very good player. He was part of their champ team too. Very, very good player. He might not be part of them. He's a guy that always supports the forward lines to get crosses very, very good player, but he might not be part of this team. So because he's not part of this team, I think they might probably bring what Kavita in. Kavita is a DR Congo bomb player that changes nationality to Rwanda. So he's now, he plays in USA division. Is it USA the one below MLS?
Yeah, the USL.
USL, he played for USL. He's not been playing on a regular basis, but he's a guy that can come and do something.
Mm,
When things when you require him, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that insight, Smith Layi. Thank you very much for that insight. Um, Let me ask you, what are some of the weaknesses that you see in this Rwandan squad that you think the Super Eagles can exploit to
You
try
know,
to get positive results?
See, number one weakness is that take them out of position. That's number one
Out
weakness.
of position or out of possession?
Out of position.
Mm.
For example, now,
So move them around on the field.
move them around. Yes, move them around. For example, now, if Victor Osimhen is running channels, no, don't stay there. Start and run channels. Like get the ball maybe to his right foot. Try and drag Mutsinsi out. Eh? It's a big, big problem. The recovery is very poor. And secondly, too, number one thing that what's it called? Libya is split. Rwanda, what's it called? Chukwueze is expected, and also too, when the Republic was expected against Rwanda, was that they don't like when people run at them.
Mm.
They don't like when people run at them. When you are in possession like this in their area, they start to get panic. Five players can come, no, three players can come and mark you. From there, before you know it now, they're out of position. They don't just like it. I think maybe it's tactics from their former coach. They just ambush you straight away. So they don't like it. So these are the things they don't like. They don't like when people run at them. There are so many clips. I have like 20 of them that when players hold the ball, they don't like when you run at them. Libya did that. Libya succeeded. Chukwueze did that. He succeeded. And also too, Benin Republic did that too. They also succeeded.
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Charles says if Nigeria can sort their set piece problems, press them on early, and go through the center, I can see Nigeria thrashing them because Eguavon's tactics are always through the wings. And
Mhm,
Rwanda's strength is in their physicality. Do
mhm.
you agree with this? Do you think that that is something that we can exploit? Going through the middle of the park versus going through the flanks?
I don't know maybe Shah saw me say this thing, but that's what I said directly. You don't go through the wings. They want you to go to the wings. They want to double up on you. They want to go to the wings. They want to win the ball early. They pretend to play from the back is a lie. They cannot play from the back.
Play from the back.
They pretend to play from the back is a lie. They are looking for long balls. That's it. That's how they want to hurt you. They're looking for long balls. They want to hurt you with long balls. So I know that you're going to ask me about their strength, but they're looking for long balls. They want to hurt you. They're looking for crosses into the box. They want to hurt you. They're looking for corner kicks. They want to actually hurt you. Hey guys, I want to say this thing. Nigeria should not try zona marking again. No
Mm.
zona, please.
Man for man.
For man, it's better. And this Africa. Forget
Mm.
about zona marking. This Africa. So
You
experiments, we don't want that one again.
see, speaking about zonal marking, I mean, this is a bit of a deviation, but I cannot even lie. You know me, I've said it before. When it comes to football, I'm fairly traditional when it
Mhm.
comes to football. I don't understand zonal marking. And I know that obviously, if all the top coaches in the world are doing it, then there must be data that proves that it is a more effective way to mark. But
Mhm.
Is the reason why you see certain players, one big player is running into the zone. The person that's covering that zone is 5'8". Now there's no way he can compete
Hmm.
with the header. I don't fully understand why people do it. I know how it works. I understand the tactic behind it. But for me, I always think that man for man, man, just everybody just mark your man. I just know that you have to do a job. If somebody score, we know whose fault it is. There's no, oh, whose zone was that? Oh, he blocked me. He was on ran into my zone. But I mean, football has changed and the way people defend has changed. But yeah, like you rightly said, what do you think are some of the strengths of Rwanda that we need to be aware of going into this game?
Yes, for example, now they pretend to play from the back, but they like to play long balls. They like when their striker just runs at you. They play through the channels and everything. So they like the way they win the first ball, win the second ball. They cannot hold the ball and press you. They can't do that. So they just like to cross the ball. They try to get opportunities on set pieces. They want to force you to make mistake. They want to have a loose pass. For example, now the goal we considered, the goal we considered no, the winning goal against Rwanda, they scored against an Uyo, and
Yeah.
also the first goal against South Africa was similar.
Mm.
Defenders making mistake, they get capitalized on that. They actually they score goals. So these are the things they capitalize on. They just want you to make mistake, cross the ball. They want to score. That is it. They cannot play through. They cannot do 1-2 pass. No, they can't
Mm.
do 1-2 pass. They just want to do those physical African strength and everything. So you have to give them their flowers too. They have to play to their strengths, but they can't play the ball on the ground with
No,
Nigeria.
yeah, I think even the Rwandans would admit it that man for man, talent for talent, they
Mhm.
cannot match the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And
Yeah.
I don't expect them to come and try to match us in terms of playing beautiful football. Because
Mhm.
if they try that, the talent of the players that we have, the Wobbies, the Lukmans, the Osimhens, we're going to run them off the park.
Mhm.
So they have to try to, soak a little bit of pressure. And then when they get the opportunity, Nshuti makes the run, somebody plays a long ball to him, they will pray and hope that Ekong is asleep or Basi is asleep or somebody makes an error and they're able to catch us off guard and score a goal. Like the way they did, they scored two goals out of nowhere almost in the
Yeah.
game in November.
Yeah.
So it's just that concentration that we need to have to make sure that we're aware of everybody and their position at all times and nobody makes any silly errors. But switching over to the Super Eagles side of the conversation now, who are some of the key players that you think can be the difference makers for Nigeria? And before you answer, I'm specifically asking this question to you because you tend to, get these things right when you tell us this person is going to be the joker. You always tend to know who can make that difference. So looking at this game, who can the fans of Nigeria count on or have at the back of their mind that can make the difference against Rwanda?
I just, I've looked at, I've watched this game just like you, countless times for Mali. I've watched, what's it called, Mali without him.
Hmm.
I've watched Rwanda before, yeah, during the AFCON qualifiers. I've watched these games, and I have to just add one or two things together. I think Victor Osimhen will be very, very important to this team.
Hmm.
I think the way he used Sianyonko against against Odina Kosono
Hmm.
in the AFCON. That's one thing I like. He study defenders. He study defenders. He know their weaknesses. And he know how to tell his players how to deal with them. So for me, I think Victor Osimhen will be very important to this game. But for me, I think the most important player will be Kevin Bassey and Rafael Yentika.
Hmm.
Because Kevin Bassey can push the ball forward and actually can pick a pass, and Yentika can actually handle the ball under pressure very well. I just got the logs. If you look at the passer from deep line playmaking, I think it's Onyedika that can do that almost because I saw his highlights, in TNT Sports when he was about to play against Aston Villa. Fantastic, fantastic highlight. So for me, I think a player that can pick the ball under pressure and also, a striker that can, I told you about running down the channels. I can run down the channels very well. Victor can do that very well.
Victor can do that very, very well.
Yeah.
What of Ekong? I mean, we've seen Ekong play some passes in over there in Saudi now, some long balls from the defense. Do you think he's somebody that we can look forward to help us create some openings?
Eh, let's hope he starts.
Let's hope he starts. So okay, we'll get into lineup.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll get into lineups in a bit. Okay.
yes.
Um, how about weaknesses? Do you think there's any weaknesses that the Super Eagles have that if the Rwandans have been paying attention and have studied the opponents properly, that they might be looking to take advantage of?
Is the weakness that we had. I hope that actually we solve it. It's actually what the gap between our defense and the midfield. very, very poor. We used to put Alex Iwobi there, and Alex Iwobi is not a four. With due respect to him, he's not a four. And we tried Dele Bashiru and Didi there. They were horrible. The two of them were horrible. They lose possession. They don't. No, they don't track back. They are somewhere. So for me, our weakness is that midfield, and we still have one of the weakness now, which is with Ndidi in that middle of the park. I just hope that he can play well. Under this manager. If he plays under this manager, we're going to actually do well. For me, I think that he's not doing his job very well in this team. If I show you some clips in the away game against Rwanda, people were just saying maybe he's very popular in Nigerian media. People did not call him out, or we didn't analyze it properly. There were so many times that he lost balls, they bullied him off the ball, he was not tracking back, the Rwandan nearly scored. So for me, I think they need to talk to him very well if you want to play with under this man. But I don't see him playing for a long time.
You don't see him playing for a long time. Okay. How about strengths? When
Uh,
it comes to what do you say?
we'll continue. You want to ask me about the game?
Yeah. So how about strengths? What do you think? I mean, we know the quality that we have man for man, but if you look at the record of our World Cup qualifying so far, it is obvious that the talent is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of the strengths that we have that you believe that we can use to take advantage of the Rwandans and to defeat them in the game?
I think direct running. I think we have some players that can one of the most skillful players actually what in African football, if not in world football. Players of different style, players that can take on opponent man for man, player that can create ball and can create assists, players with pinpoint crosses, that can do those things. So we have those ones in abundance in our team. So our major strength basically is it's gonna be through running down the channels, with Victor Osimhen, and also we're trying to play those true balls. So we have the personnel to do that. We have Duaribo in that midfield. We have Alex Iwobi in that midfield. We have Lukman Halman in that midfield. We also have Victor Osimhen in that midfield. So for me, I think it's going to be about in 1v1 situations when you try and drag them off the ball. Yeah, for me.
Okay. Okay. Let me quickly take a couple comments.
So,
Sammy
Sammy, yes.
Sammy
Only
says
take
good.
people with the super chat, also the super chats.
What do you say?
Only take people with super
Yeah,
chat.
that's what I'm doing. Only those that anybody else you can, we appreciate you, but let's
Yeah.
let's let's set the standards from now on. Sammy says good job IoT and Smith Layi on the analysis. Thank you very much, Sammy. I appreciate the super chat. Charles says I prefer hybrid marking. I believe he's talking about from the corners, from set pieces, rather than man to man, rather than zone. He prefers hybrid. So some people pick their man and some people mark the zones. What do you
Mhm.
think about that, Smith Layi?
That one is also very good, but you are light up front in case nobody
Counter attack.
counter attack. In case nobody grabs the ball and want a quick counter attack.
You need to have some players that are ready.
Mm.
Just put Lookman on that halfway line so that any ball that comes.
In all honesty, we also don't have players that can run and will not look back.
Hmm.
Like Amel Busa. We don't have
Just jet and just go.
we just go. We don't have players. If you put Simon there, Simon will sit on back.
Hmm.
He will sit on back now. That is it. It's not as if I'm flagging. Simon will sit on back. If you put Victor Osimhen, you can see the long legs coming. When I forget the ball, I'm just. I don't think Boniface can do the same thing. So the only player close is Adema Lukman, which I don't think I even do it.
Okay. Charles also says that he thinks the key players for the Super Eagles will be Osimhen, Simon, Lookman, Chukwueze, and maybe Boniface. What do you think about that?
Chukwueze can be crucial in this team. But for him to stick his neck out to bring Chukwueze to this team, and also to say, okay, Boniface must be here. Maybe he had plans for Boniface. For example, now Boniface can become like a different type of player, under this man. We never know. And you also believe in him very well. So let's see. With due respect to the Mali team that is he coached before, none of their strikers can be in our team. Even Akpom will go ahead of them. That is it. It cannot be in our team. So with due respect to those guys, I think just think that he thinks that he can do better with these our players. So for me, I think we actually will do well.
Their starting striker for the AFCON is Ayoko, 26 games in League One this season, 2 goals. So,
Yeah.
they are not necessarily fantastic goal
What
scorers.
about Eba Toure? He wasn't there, don't you?
No, it was I think Adama Traore was their starter alongside Sinayoko.
Yeah.
He has 5 goals this season,
Hmm.
but he's playing in the second division in Turkey.
Yeah. You
Hmm.
see.
Okay, let's talk about. I think we've spoken about the players to watch. We've spoken about the weaknesses. We've spoken about the strengths. Is
Hmm.
there anything you want to add on those three topics, or should I move on?
Yeah, I think another thing I want to say basically is that Nigerian football, the Nigerian Super Eagles players should resist if Rwanda is coming with some fine guests in the stadium. It should not be this because these Africans now they will put their fine guests around the pitch so that we
Mm,
can get distracted. Please, so leave everything on the pitch for 90 minutes. They can come
mm,
after the game, but not 90 minutes. So please do your best there.
mm.
So that just on a lighter note, yeah. But you can move on to a different
Let me
one.
take this comment from a member of the channel, Monsu Ogunbade. Thank
Is
you
it a
for
member?
being. Yeah, he's a member. Thank you for being a member. He says Lookman would be the difference. Lookman would be the difference. What do you think about that, Smith Layi?
Yeah,
'Cause
look, after
previously, you've always pointed to Lookman as a potential joker. So, do
mhm.
you think he can be the difference? Because
look,
today we've been talking more about Osimhen.
Lookman is a killer.
Hmm,
That's one thing you don't know. Lookman is a killer. Lookman can kill any team on a
hmm,
good day. So for me, if Lookman turns out to be a joker, I will. I told you about that when you said that who will go, who's our best player during the half cup, who will be our best player. I tell you, it's going to be Lookman to watch out for. So for me, I still think that Lookman can actually be the joker. But there's so many, we have so many match winners now here. Don't forget that we also have players competing for the league.
hmm,
A lot in this team now, competing for Europe. So you know, so we have winners.
hmm. Ada J3, thank you for the super chat. She says Nigeria need to keep the upcoming qualifying matches low scoring like AFCON to get all 6 points in this window. Clean sheets plus clinical finishing. Smilai, at the AFCON, we had clean sheets and we had finishing, but people were complaining about the style. Even though we reach final or we lose for final, people still don't give the coach credit, saying it was playing a defensive style. So, do you think if Eric Shell plays that style in these two matches, would it be justified considering the gravity of the games, or do you think that Eric Shell, we know he's an attack type of coach? Is it something that he wouldn't even consider? What would you say?
I think a cigar you must know exactly when to fight. He's not all battles you fight. There's sometimes
Hmm,
that you have to just retreat. And like observe the situation. Just those moments in the game. Let me tell you something. You cannot be on top of the game for 90 minutes. There's sometimes that the momentum will shift. For example, now we are 2-0 up. You now score one goal. What will happen? Will you think he's going to attack?
hmm,
He will retreat slightly and observe situation and see how to counter. That is it. That is it. So, and in fact, I'm seeing the 2-1 for Nigeria and a very nappy, nail biting ending to the
hmm.
game. So, I just think that we will retreat. It will retreat. It will retreat, but I think it won't be like Barcelona. I also said something to IoT.
Yeah.
Some players have been hearing some players coming out to throw Barcelona under the bus because they might not say it directly, but indirectly they say it. I monitor Kenneth Omero's interview on Channels TV. That not that we should be waiting behind and somebody should press us without before we go and attack them.
Hmm,
He was referring to Jose Barcelo's tactics during the last half court. See, he was your boss. Acknowledge what you achieved with him, and just move on. That
hmm.
was what worked for Barcelo during the half court. A lot of people forgot that Barcelo before AFCON, it was attack, attack, attack. If you remember, when
Yeah,
you
we were making silly mistakes at the back and we're correcting them.
so it shot the back up and we just get what we could get and qualify. And that's how you do a tournament world football. So for me, anything that suits Chile to get us to these two. See, these two games, they're the most important in his career
Hmm.
of Super Eagles. Because the next two will be during the June window, which is not having it's a friendly game. So before we play in September. So for me, I just think that anything he can do to win those two games, me, I'm fine.
He needs to do anything that he can do to win these two matches. Because
Mhm.
honestly, I also would say, see, like the reality of it is that these two games are going to make or break us. If we don't win both games, our world qualifying hopes. It's not like we're out if we don't win the two games, but things will start to look dicey for us. Things will now start saying, oh, well, we hope that this person beats South Africa. We hope that this person beats Rwanda. We hope, we hope, we hope. And I don't think that a country like Nigeria, with all the talents that we have, with all the resources that we have, should be counting on other people's results,
Mm-hmm.
to qualify. So he needs to win these two games. I will agree with you. These two games, albeit his first two games, they might be his two most important games that he coaches, at least until maybe he gets us to like a final or something close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Important matches for sure, for sure. Okay, let us move ahead. Let us move ahead. Keys to success. We kind of hinted at it while we were talking about strengths and weaknesses, but if somebody is only watching or listening to this segment, what are the keys to success for the Super Eagles going into this match against Rwanda?
Uh, Control the first 10 minutes
Hmm.
of the game. Don't don't do too much in the first 10 minutes. If you can get a goal, get a goal. Don't do too much in this. Let's say keep Rwanda away from your goal as much as possible. Don't dribble aimlessly. Don't dribble aimlessly. I cannot recover. Don't dribble aimlessly. So for me, I think the most important thing is that the first 10 minutes and last 10 minutes is very important. We should make sure we control the game at that particular time. And secondly, to see corner kick. Very careful with corner kick. Very careful with corner kick. Very careful with set pieces because their major strength of scoring against Nigeria will be through set pieces.
Hmm. So is that all? You think if we can get those things right, success is ours?
If you can get those things right and try not to go and cross the ball and try and
Hmm.
play pass to Victor Osimhen, it's better. It's better. Just try and make life easy for him. Not for you to go and cross the ball from, you put him. She's so good in that. You go and cross the ball from Cameroon to Lagos, and I'm
Hmm.
just pinpoint crosses. Make life a lot easier for him so that
Hmm.
they can actually attack it. Look at the way Spalletti play. We should not be dependent on Victor Osimhen coming back to defend. Get him, do those defending for him. Get him settled in that area. You can hear what Akpobiri said. Get him settled in that way in those areas. Reserve his energy. He's going to deliver. We
Hmm.
just Victor Osimhen in Nigeria too much.
Hmm.
And also in Nigeria, also Galatasaray also Casino to go. They are not so good. So for me, I think work for Victor, control the first 10 minutes, keep Rwandans away from your goal, and avoid what set pieces
Hmm.
as much as
I
possible.
think one thing that I look at and I think is going to be a relatively major key to success for us, as simple as it sounds, we've spoken about it off the field, but even on the field, I think discipline is something that is going to be very important for us. See, I strongly believe that we are going to come and face a team that is going to be on the back foot for majority of the game.
Mm-hmm,
We are going to have possession. We are
mm-hmm,
going to be coming at them.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes when you are having all the ball and you're the one on the attack, it's easy for players to get carried away. It's
mm-hmm,
easy for players to forget their defensive responsibilities. It's easy for players to forget that they need to cover certain gaps. It's
mm-hmm,
easy for players to forget that they need to communicate with their teammates because they think everything is under control. We are
mm-hmm,
pressing them, we are balling them. That tactical discipline. If you go forward, you still need to come back. If a man is running, you need to follow that man until the action is dead. You need to keep an eye on him
mm-hmm,
because Rwanda's major threat will come from long balls, will come from counter attacks, will come from whatever errors that we make. So I
mm-hmm,
think that discipline is very, very important. Let's not concede silly free kicks. Let's not concede any penalty. Let's not
mm-hmm,
make any silly mistakes. Defensive discipline. Basi, Ekong, Bruno, Ola, Ndidi, Onyedika, those guys in the middle, they need to make sure that they are concentrating. And then, if we can get that part of the game working very well, we know that we have the attacking talents that can do a job with
mm-hmm,
Simon, with Osimhen, with Ademola Lookman. So I think we really, really, really need to be tactically disciplined. And I hope that Eric Chelle is able to instill that in them within these couple days that he has. It starts with the leaders on the team. Ekong needs to direct everybody. Ndidi from the midfield needs to direct people. And even Osimhen from the attack needs to direct people. If we're pressing, are we pressing individually? Are we pressing as a team? People need to understand this. Not that one man is chasing everybody and every other person is just looking at him. We need to be tactically disciplined. This is
Mm-hmm.
not a team, with all due respect to the Amavubi. Rwanda is not a country that we should be concerned about when it comes to football. Now, if we're talking about development, infrastructure, here, different conversation. But we're talking about football. Rwanda is not a country that we should be concerned about. But like they showed us in November, if we make silly mistakes, if we lose concentration, if we're not disciplined enough, they can punish us because they are a well drilled and well organized team. They know, once again, I will say, they know that they cannot match us when it comes to talent. But if we make silly mistakes, if we give them those little openings, they have players that can pounce. It's like David versus Goliath. We are the Goliath in this sense, they are the Davids. We are the Giants, they are the smaller, people. But if we allow one opening on our forehead, then go knock us stone for that forehead, we can fall to the ground. So we need to be careful. I still feel confident that we can get the job done, but I think it is something that we just need to be aware of. Okay, Smith, are you ready for lineups?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. What kind of formation and who are the 11 players that you expect Eric Chelle to go into battle with? Do you want to go first or should I say my lineup first?
Just see a final first.
Okay. I thought about this in terms of the formation I think he's going to play. You mentioned earlier 4-4-2, 4-1-2-1-2. I think for me, I'm going to favor a 4-4-2 formation. Um, as much as I think we need to control the center of the park, I don't necessarily think that he's because of the number of midfielders that he called. I said it on your show on Friday. I don't necessarily think that he's just going to concentrate and play all the midfielders at once. Because
Mm-hmm.
then, if he needs to call somebody from his bench, with all due respect, the reinforcement is not going to be there on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to play a 4-4-2 formation. Now, in goal, I don't really have a choice. Stanley Nwabali is the only relatively high level goalkeeper we have. The other two are not goalkeepers that we can really trust for these kind of crucial matches.
Mm-hmm.
In defense, four-man defense. On the left, we only have one natural left back in the squad. So it has to be Bruno Oyemaichi. On the
Mm-hmm.
right, we have the best right back in the English Premier League. So we have to play him. Olaoluwa, he's
Mm-hmm.
there. In the center of the defense, you said if Ekong starts, but for me, I think Ekong is the skipper of the team. Is one of the most, I don't know if he's the most experienced, but he's probably close to being the most experienced player in the team. One of the most experienced for sure. So I think Ekong starts on the right side of the defense. And on the left side of the defense, I mean, we have a man who has been amazing for Fulham this season, solid in defense, bullying players, showing his strength, and also scoring a few goals here and there. Talking about Calvin Bassey. So those are my four defenders. In the midfield, I said 4-4-2. On the left side of the midfield, I believe that he's going to start with Moses Simon. Simon, because he's an energetic player, he can create in attack, and Simon is a player that runs and works hard for the team. We see Simon giving everything, and we also know that it looks like Simon is the teacher's pet right now. He's the one that is hugging the coach, is laughing with the coach, is doing everything. It's probably the one that speaks French on the squad as well. Became a French citizen recently. I was watching Nantes last match, and the commentator said it's that Simon has recently naturalized to become a French citizen. So I'm going to expect Simon to be a key player from that left side of the midfield. On the right side of the midfield, I was battling and struggling in my head. And if anybody has watched my previous video that I did on my channel, I mentioned one name, but today I've changed my mind. I think on the right side of the midfield, I would go with Alex Iwobi. Initially, I was thinking Samuel Chukwueze, but the more and more I hear about the effort that Eric Chelle is looking for from his players, I don't see Chukwueze giving that kind of effort. Now, I'm not saying that he cannot step up, and he cannot become more hardworking. But I think Chukwueze is also those kind of players that it doesn't really come naturally to him to track back. There's some players that they all they want to do is get the ball and try to be inventive with it. They don't really think of defense. I've played with some players in my time when I play ball. I'm a center back. I've played with some players that they just believe that if they lose ball, they lose ball. Oh, yeah, defense, handle them now. They don't care what happens. And then if they score now, they'll look at the defenders like, what are you doing? But it's like, bro, you lost the ball, you didn't even try to help. Chukwueze has that tendency. He loses the ball, he's just like, well, okay, defense will sort it out. He does not really run as much. So I think Alex Iwobi on that right side will be somebody that I would go with. And I think when he runs Iwobi, we know how hard he works. When he does it in training, I think Eric Chelle will favor him. The two in the center of the pack, I'm going to go with Wilfred Onye Ndidi and also Raphael Onyedika. I think Onye Ndidi can be more of that DM anchor, just there to win the ball back, to make tackles, to clean things up for us, to protect the back four. And Onyedika can be our deep line playmaker in a sense. Can get the ball if he needs to move the ball forward, he can move the ball forward, and he can also find a pass here and there. And if by peradventure the ball drops to him on the edge of the box, he can take a shot, and who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Osimhen gets the rebound or not. And then the two in attack, of course, our number nine, without a doubt, Victor James Osimhen is going to lead the line for us. But I think someone that I'm excited, if he plays this formation, I'm excited to see him in this role for the Super Eagles, is Ademola Lookman, playing as that second striker, playing in that support role, playing alongside Victor Osimhen, while also giving himself a free roam, around the attack, around the midfield, can play anywhere from an 8 to a 10, just roaming around. I also think that playing Lukman as a supporting striker allows Moses Simon to have the freedom of that left flank. Because if you remember, was it the game in November when Simon and Lukman were on the pitch at the same time? You see them getting into each other's spaces because they are both naturally trying to come to that side and trying to make things happen. Sometimes they're into that spaces, sometimes they realize, okay, one person has to be on the other side. But I think if Simon has the freedom of the left and Lukman is playing a free roam, alongside Victor Osimhen, I think that they can do really well. Simon can be inventive self, can stretch the defense. And if Simon is causing problems for the right back, that the right back needs to be going wider to cover Moses Simon. That gap between the right back and the center back, I think Lukman has a very good opportunity to exploit because, of course, we know that their center backs will be very focused on Victor Osimhen. They wouldn't want to give Osimhen space. They might want to always, two of them have an eye on him, even including their DM might want to always have an eye on him. So I think Lukman is somebody that can potentially, exploit those gaps and be very, very key for us. And like we already said, if we can put in quality crosses, we know how good Osimhen is in the air. We've seen Osimhen, we see those pictures where five people are around him and he's still holding onto the ball and he's juggling the ball with his head and he's trying to, fight. So I think that 4-4-2, Nwabali in goal, Bruno, Basi, Ekong, Aino, Indidi, Onyedika, Simon on the left, it will be on the right. Lukman and Victor Osimhen up front. I think that can be a successful formation for us. If the coach gets the players organized properly, I think we can do really well. That is my own lineup. Smith Layi, how about you?
So for me, like I said this last week Friday, and I'm still gonna go with my previous formation. And I just think that one of the key things I mentioned, and throughout, I spent hours, tens of hours, watching Rwanda play, the strength of individual players. Just realize that you need to don't take them to the wings. You need to play them in the middle. That's why I'm coming with what? With that 4-1-2, 4-1-2-1-2 formation. That is like it could be like a 4-4-2 formation too,
Mm.
but it could be like it's like a 4-4-2 diamond, indirectly if you want to put it that way. So I'm going to be going with Stanley Wabali in actually what in go. I think it's going to be a big shock if somebody just starts carrying the Bengali, I think Wabali is going to be there. And I think the other goalkeepers too know that Wabali is going to be the first choice. But I'm not surprised why he's even coming slightly late to camp because maybe Okoye is not there. But okay, that one is different story for another day. Right back is going to be Ola. For me, I think he's the third best Nigerian player currently now, and he deserves his flowers. A lot of people talking about Ola, doesn't play well for Nigeria, but Ola, has not been in this form before in his life, and this is
Mm.
the fourth ever time that he's going to be reaching that peak and that consistency level. So the left back too is going to be what Bruno Onyemaechi. A lot of people are thinking that I'm going to take Basi there and things like that. But I just think that Bruno will be attacking very well. I will not have any issue with his attacking because I will have somebody to support him in that in that area. Who is going to be what? I'm going to talk about that one later. In the center defense, I'm going to go with Ekong and Basi. I think no matter how it is, I can't just throw Igor Ogu. In here, you need somebody. Though if they throw Iwaogu, I will not be scared. I think that he will do a very good job against Rwanda in an away leg, but because of nerves and everything, I would just prefer that Ekong have been to the World Cup before, he has qualified before, he has played difficult away game before, he will know how to actually undo particular pressure. So for me, I think Ekong will start alongside Kevin Bassi. I was also in the midfield too. I'll go with a one in front of that midfielder who actually will be Rafael Yeriga. And the reason is because he will be able to dictate the pace of the game and actually take the ball under pressure. I'm not comfortable having him in that role because
Hmm.
for the past 3 years now, managers upon managers have been looking for a way to push him out anywhere near your goal. Just push him forward. If you can see him under Enzo Maresca, under the guy that was scored on another Forest before, and also under Rudvanis Troy, they've been pushing him further off the pitch. He's not been playing that role, maybe because of what they are seeing in training. So for me, to Super Eagles too, he should not play that role again. He should push him
Hmm.
further. I think he's already getting past that type of age. So in the midfield two, in front of him will now be Ndidi and Joe Aribo. And the reason why I'm using it and Joe Aribo is that if in case I will need to cross the ball, I will want Bruno and Ola enough to give me weight when I'm actually attacking. So in case we lose the ball, to avoid quick transition, I will want someone like Ndidi and also Joe Aribo to cover for those right back and left back in case they actually were out of position. So that's why they actually were there. And if I'm detecting part of the game, I'm using Aribo because Aribo can dribble. Haribo can get into like a true ball. Haribo can pick these tiny. I remember the goal is going against Braga also. Is it Braga Benfica? Just dribble them, and he can do those type of things, outside the box. So and in front of this thing, in front of the what's it called, and Haribo, I will have Alex will be there because I think that is the best passer of the ball we have currently in Super Eagles. It's a guy that can pick up true pass. It's a guy that can shoot do anything with the ball. So I'm going to actually have him there. Oh, occasionally too, he can also kick the ball, he can also play a shot too. Though most of the shots are not really powerful, but at least he can actually he can try. So in front of them would be Lukman and actually and Victor Osimhen. So and imagine you attacking and having the options to play a true pass to Victor or to Lukman. Come on, he has spoiled with choices. One of them will make a very good run for you. So that's why I'm critical about that. I want two players, to be
Hmm.
playing to be giving the Rwanda defense actually what problem. So for me, I'm going to stick to that formation and she was picked. Unfortunately, we don't really have some midfield but we have Alassane Yusuf, Papa Daniels. Simon can also come in too and play that Adiboro or anyone. So at
Hmm.
least some of these guys can actually come in and just fill into some certain areas too. So I just think that I don't want to rely on crossing the ball because we can cross the ball for 90 minutes and might not get anything out of it. I think that if we run at them, if we play through pass, if we play with them in that midfield, we're going to destroy them.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. I'm trying to think of it. I wonder how. Okay, do you think the coach has enough time to really? Because that's going to be a big tactical change for us. I mean, of course, I know that these are professional players. Most of them play in Europe,
Mhm.
so they should be tactically adept to be able to get into different situations. But
Mhm.
if he wants them to play a 4-1-2-1-2, do you think the players will be able to grasp exactly what each of their roles would be
The only,
in
the
time?
only, the only change I think might be difficult is probably what maybe Alex will be, trying to play in the middle again, because
Hmm.
I've been playing the wait for this thing. So for me, I think Lukman, if you remember when they took Rutogi off against Juventus, Lukman went to 9 before they brought in Madini, against Juventus. So he can play that role. So I think the only change that might be slightly difficult slightly is like it's just that Alex will be role. I think Aribo can play that place very well. I think that's the role he plays for
For
for Leicester.
Leicester.
For Leicester City.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's a very going to be a very big tactical switch.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, interesting. So we're going to allow the full backs to have the full joy
Full
on the flanks and let Alain control the right
control.
side and let Bruno control the left side. I
Yes.
know Bruno. If Bruno is listening to you, he'll be excited by that prospect because
Also
Bruno
the
likes to get forward.
inverted runs, the runs between the left back, their left back and the left centre back, we don't make those runs. It's okay. In between those one, we have to be able to make those runs and get it. That's what Morocco was doing against Tanzania and they did it successfully.
Hmm.
You have to make don't make too much full width run. Those intelligent runs between those two center defenders, those two left back and left midfielders and then left center backs. So those runs, we need to make those type of runs.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, let me ask you, in terms of obviously football is offense, but it's also defense. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think the shape is going to look like when we are defending? If we are putting most of the players in the middle of the park,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think are they going to adapt
It's going
defense?
to be a 4-2 defending.
So, who will be on the left? Who will be on the right in that 4-4-2?
Aribo on the left, Need on the right.
Who on the right?
Indeed.
Ndidi.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have Iwobi and then Onyedika
Yeah, yes.
in that diamond formation.
Or it will be on the right, Indeed, and Erika in the center. Then
Hmm.
that's it.
Okay,
Similar
interesting.
to but Aribo is just the only. He didn't pick Aribo. I picked Aribo.
No, I mean, to be fair, I thought about Aribo and how he would fit in. But just because I was going for a 4-4-2, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to put Aribo alongside Wilfred Ndidi because I'm
Yeah.
thinking, it might
Mm-hmm.
expose some gaps, in that middle of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear you and I see the vision and what you're saying, it's something that is interesting as well. Um, when you were talking, I was also thinking about my 4-4-2 that okay, can my 4-4-2 turn a little bit into like a 4-2-2-2,
Mm-hmm.
and have um Iwobi and Simon, even though they are still wide midfielders,
Mm-hmm.
but play a bit more centrally and not necessarily hogging the touchline.
Mm-hmm.
We allow the fullbacks to have the width on the offense, but then Iwobi is playing more like uh, should I say like kind of like a 10, but
Mm-hmm.
from the sides. Simon is also playing kind of like a 10, but from the
Mm-hmm.
left side, like left attacking midfield, right attacking midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Osimhen and Lookman up front. That
Yeah.
4-2-2 formation could be interesting. It's going to let's see how Eric Shell plays it. For me, I mean, regardless of the formation that he plays, as long as the players can understand their job, as long as the players know what to do and they can get a positive result, I'm happy. I
Yeah.
don't care who if he likes, if you should start Papa Daniel, start Kaide Bankole, start Alessandro Yusuf, start everybody that we think is going to be on the bench, as long as he can get a positive result. The end will justify the means,
Mm-hmm.
but he needs to get a positive result. This game is super, super, super important. God
Mm-hmm.
forbid we're gonna lose this game. Everybody will just be like, "Oh, I beg, super is not finish." you know. Okay. Ada J3 says it seems like IoT is prioritizing width while Smith is prioritizing the midfield.
Okay. I did. He paid. He
Yeah,
paid.
yeah, yeah. He said is prioritizing the midfield and transition. I wouldn't even necessarily say I'm prioritizing width,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think that it could be something potentially good for us because of how many bodies that they might have in their defense. I just think that the wide players can do a job in terms of attracting the fullbacks towards them so that we can find those gaps in between the fullback and the center back because they're going to, I think they're going to come and set a low block against us. And we've seen in the past that we've struggled to face teams with low blocks. But I also think that what Smith Layi is saying about finding those defense splitting passes to the middle, Osimhen runs into that space, And Osimhen, one thing that I've liked seeing this season, albeit in Galatasaray, but it looks as if his movement has improved.
Mm-hmm.
You see the goals that he scores, even the headers. You see him, he's in front of this guy. He takes 2 steps back. He goes to the side of this guy. A ball comes in, he heads it in. Or the third goal that he scored when in his hat trick game. You could just see the movement. He could have easily run in front of the guy, but no, he ran from the other side. The player played the passing between the two center backs. Osimhen finished it. So I think that that's a good point, and it's something that could potentially also be a difference maker for us. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so like
Yeah.
we have come to the time of the show where we have to put our predictions down.
Oh, no. It's me fading every
I know
game.
that you don't usually like giving prediction because anything can happen.
You know, I don't know because when you post these things, I remember when I predicted Eguavon that it's not going to win in Kigali. A lot of people came after me. One girl was even abusing me for I was like, for 4 messages. He's so
Mm,
negative. He's so this. I was like, wait, see, I'm predicting I give.
mm.
Oh, YouTube too. People follow me to YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's like at this point, I'm sure you're used to it already now.
I'm used to. I've never
Once
used it again.
once people just disagree with you, hey, what is one that he's saying? Blah, 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 blah. I've said this one thing that God forbid bad thing that in 2025, after all my years of work,
Mm-hmm.
somebody will now tell me I don't know ball, and myself I will now be arguing. Hey, I know ball. Once
I
somebody
know.
says that kind of thing, I was like, oh. Do you, man? Anything, anyhow you feel, that's
Yeah,
your issue.
and you sabi.
Um, Charles is giving us his own lineup. Charles says Bali, Ekong, Igor. I know. So he's not going with okay. No, he's okay. He went Ekong, I know Basi. So he's playing Basi at left back.
Yeah.
So Bali, Ekong, Igor, I know Basi, Indidi, Onyedika, Lukman, Moses, Iwobi, and Osimhen. He's going for a 4-5-1 formation. So we both went with two strikers up front, but he's
Okay.
going with a 4-5-1 formation. Do you think that this is something that is possible?
It's possible. It's possible. The 4-5-1 can turn to 4-3-3.
Hmm, hmm. Okay. We also have RD just saying hello IoT, hello Smith Layi. Hello to you, RD. Thank you for supporting the channel. We
Why is that
will
some of our guys are muted here? When you are seeing new people to accept. Why is that? Why is why is it Ivory? Our Twitter,
oh, library 10.
Ivory, our Twitter, our keyboard warrior.
You know that when your comment comes at a cost, you have to pick your comments carefully. Videos, you cannot just be doing cho because now there's a price to it.
It's a price. It's a price
But
too.
yeah, thank you very much to Charles. Thank you to Ada. Thank you to Sammy and everybody else that supported us. Um, if you want to call into the show, the link has been posted now. It's pinned on YouTube. So please send a request, call in, and we'll give you guys a chance to air your thoughts as well. But before we do that, similarly, let us make our predictions.
Oh, you
Let us
remember
make our
again?
predictions. No, don't worry, don't worry. We're not placing. Nobody should place bet. Oh, now just talk with a talk. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to make our predictions. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
Let me go first. Go first. Go first.
Okay. So I will say for me, the first thing that I look at historically, Rwanda versus Nigeria tends to be a low scoring affair.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that many goals. In fact, the only game that had more than 2 goals was the 2-1 win that Rwanda beat us in November.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this one has the potential for another low scoring affair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Super Eagles players would solve some of the issues that they've had defensively in previous matches. And I think that they will be more disciplined and, just more organized in defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I see this game having the potential to end 2-0 to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I think we can get a 2-0 victory. One goal in the first half, one goal in the second half. Comfortable 2-0. They are going to be defending, so we'll have a few chances, we won't score. Once we open the scoring a little bit, they might come out some more. We'll find another goal in the second half. I am seeing 2-0 to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Osimhen gets a goal, and maybe Ekong gets a goal as well, with one assist from Simon, one assist from Lukman.
Even we don't play the game.
So yes, 2-0, that's my prediction. Super Eagles win. Smith Layi, how about you?
Yes, I've talked about this game several times. This game is one of the most games I thought about. The game could go two ways, but those two ways could be is going to be a win for Nigeria. Initially, I was thinking about a 4-0 win for Nigeria,
Hmm.
but something in me is just telling me that Nigeria will score 2 goals, and Rwanda will maybe get a penalty and score one towards the end of the game.
Hmm.
And it's going to be like another nail biting end to it.
Hmm.
Then we end with a 2-1 victory for Nigeria. So I'm going to pick the 4-0, a total outclass, but I think it's going to be at the 2-1 victory for Nigeria.
So you're saying 2-1 victory for the Super Eagles.
Victory for Nigeria.
Who scores the goals?
So I think Victor will score. And I also think that we might be having a penalty from Ekong.
So Victor and Ekong. Do you see any debuts in the game?
Yeah, I see Davis in the game. I see Igbo Ugu coming to show up the back line when we're under pressure. And
Not Torunariga.
not to Nariga. Because that one is just a call up to chalk up this thing. So Ugu was in the plan. I see Igbo coming, maybe coming to the midfield to even help. So yeah, I also see Papa Daniels, see maybe he can show us come up. I think Igor will come up before the Papa Daniel. That is it. So I just see Igor making his debut. Yeah.
So potential debut for Igor Ogu.
So yes.
Okay.
Now, so nobody should not go and waste time there again, because that time it was 9 on the floor, wasting time. You should not go and waste time there again. We need to win.
Okay. Let us take a couple callers and we can wrap up for tonight. We're already over the 2 hour mark. Another fantastic conversation. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that has supported. If you want us to take your comments henceforth on every week's show, we need your super chats for us to take comments. Let's set the standard, guys. Let's set the standard. Okay. First caller we have tonight, all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. Our friend, Pombo Henry. Welcome.
I thought it's a man from
Yeah,
Malaysia.
yes. I greet everybody. This is the time I have been waiting for. Today I'm going to talk about both positive and negative. But you all have said everything. There's nothing to talk about. Rather, I'm going to advise. If Nigeria will not win them 3-0, let them not come back with my following reasons. Victor Osimhen is informed. Lukman is informed. Olayana is informed. Uwobi is informed. Kevin Bassey informed. Bruno Nyemechi informed. Moses Simon informed. Onyedika informed. Then why can't they play them 3-0? Now, I want them to play to the strength of Osimhen. Playing to the strength of Osimhen. If Osimhen is giving 100% and Lukman is giving 100%, I don't see the reason why Victor Boniface will not give 100%. I don't see the reason why Uwobi will not give 100%. I don't see the reason why Moses Simon will not give 100%. And Victor Osimhen, do not be selfish. If you cannot score the goal, give an assist. Lukman,
Not.
do not be stingy. If you cannot score, assist. Who again should I call? Olaino, you have been doing the great thing. I don't know why I can't find fault on you, but you mark very well. If you overlap, you come back. Now, Bruno Nyamachi, they have given you everything. If you like, don't do what you're supposed to do. Zaidu is there waiting. You know how Super Eagles work. The position you are, definitely, there are so many people waiting for. They have given you the opportunity and want to see 100%. Onyedika, please, if you are putting your leg, please remember yellow card. There might be a tendency of red card because in my prediction, I'm seeing will be scoring 2 goals. I'm seeing Alex
The
Iwobi
priest
scoring 2
is
goals.
prophesying.
I'm telling you, nobody have talked about him. I'm telling you, he's going to be the person that everybody will be shocked. And another person, you see, Lukman, you can't catch him. And if they are trying to play defense, that is where they are going to hurt themselves. Are they going to hold Victor Osimhen? Or are they going to hold Lukman? If they are trying to hold Osimhen, then Lukman is there. And please, the coach, do not limit Lukman. Allow him to play what he used to play best. Don't tell him go and play. Allow him, give him that free role. Because if you don't give him the free role and limit him, you are not going to see the best from him. Then, Kevin Bassey, be mindful of the long ball. Let there be a good communication between you and Ekong. And also Ndidi, if you are not fit, be open after first half, you can come out, another person can enter. If you are not fit, tell the coach, don't go there in order to impress yourself and we see you overlapping, because definitely I'm going to criticize. This is not time to experiment. This is not time to say give them chance. The chance has gone. And that is why I want the coach to put Boniface in this game. Yes, we have seen him, we have seen others when Finidi and Iguavon have been in charge. Now this is a new coach with the same team. And also Rwanda, new coach with the same team. Rwanda is not even, for me, if we can score 3-0, don't come back. Because I'm seeing this game 3-0. They don't need to score us. They don't need. They don't have that strength. I rest my case.
All right. Thank you very much. Humble Henry says if we cannot score 3-0, they should just stay in Kigali.
That is me. They don't have that strength. Let's be honest to ourselves. They are not at our level. Let's be honest. Because the pressure is on us. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Humble Henry. Smith Layi, you want to say something?
I want to say something like, if you agree with AyoT and you want to go and bet on what AyoT said, it's going to be 13-2. But if you think that Smith Layi, the octopus, is the one you want to go to bet on, is 9-1.
So Smith Layi is on better odds. 2-1 better odds.
And secondly, too. So I have a friend here. He likes Victor Osimhen, and he put money on Victor Osimhen nearly every game. So if you want to see that Victor Osimhen to score at any time, it's 15-8. So Victor Osimhen to score at any time, 15-8. Yeah. If you want to go to Ombo Henry, that's going to score at any time. It's 4-1.
So there's big money on Iwobi's head.
Yes.
Okay, let's take the next caller all the way from Canada. We have Monsuf.
Hey,
this is your lighting. We cannot see your face properly.
Don't mind him.
Don't mind me, Daddy. Smith is a member of. Is he a member of Eagles Tracker?
He's a co-host.
Cannot just be a co-host and will not be a member.
I'm a chief co-host.
Smith. Okay. So for the game of Friday, I think for me, a win is a win to me, even if it's a scrappy win. I think that's just what we need. My only issue now is, I think it's a great miss for Eric Chelle not inviting Uchekwe Santos, because I think for the past 3 or 4 matches now, he's been playing in the midfield. And to me, I think he just needs to reassess the team and see if any of the players he called now, if they don't turn up on Friday, I think he should weigh the big stick and just do without them.
No, that's how he's in camp.
Who?
That's how he's in camp.
He arrived.
I know. No, I'm saying if they didn't turn up, he says that they don't put in the work rate on Friday during the game. They should just sideline them going forward, because I think it's very important for him to get the World Cup ticket. I don't have any fear that I think we will get the World Cup ticket. My fear now is the World Cup party, the team itself, because that's when NFF will show the man shaggy in terms of the team selection. But we shouldn't worry about that now, because for now, it's still a 50-50 if we're still going to go to the World Cup. But I believe the team will do well. They will qualify for World Cup. But then it will be a scrappy, like Smith Layi said, maybe 2-1 or 1-0. Because to me, honestly, in recent times, Nigeria is not a high-scoring team. So we shouldn't be expecting that we beat the team 3-0, 4-0. We don't even have that energy. The only person that can press, that can push, is just Osimhen and Lookman. All other players are just, to me, they're just laid back. So it depends on what the intensity this coach brings to the game. Maybe they will follow suit and then put out their best. But nobody should be expecting 4-0, 3-0. And to me, anytime Ombuleri is making any prediction, I think it's gonna be a doom for Nigeria. So Osimhen, stop making any prediction. So your prediction, I don't. It's just gonna. The thing is just gonna cause kata kata. So it's better keep that prediction to yourself. Maybe after you can say, "Oh, I dream about this, and this is what happened." But don't say it out because uh, I'm doubting your prophecy now. So maybe you need to do something. But I think Nigeria will win. So we should just expect the win on Friday. And then in Uyo. So I'm not sure. So is Uyo Stadium still open? Like, have they been playing league matches on that turf? Why can't they just close down that turf? Like, why can't they? I think there is another stadium in Uyo where I think the second team from Uyo plays. So why can't they just move there? Why is it that everybody goes to Uyo and play there? I thought they would be doing some maintenance work there, but I don't know if they're doing any maintenance both on the pitch and off the pitch, like the stand and everything. So, like you said, maybe until when FIFA CAF comes with the armor that, oh, we can play again to you, that's when they will be rushing to see what they can do. I still believe that if NFF and federal government can just renovate Abuja Stadium, we might not get the fans like we get in Uyo, but I think playing in the federal capital is still the best thing for Nigeria rather than playing.
To be honest, we should be playing in Abuja or Lagos. It can't be like, say, May England, they play their home game for Southampton. But,
Or playing in Newcastle.
but at the end of the day, now waiting we get right now. So we have to be, beggars cannot be choosers.
Yeah,
It's the only half decent stadium that we have.
That's my contribution.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you for being a member on the channel as well. We appreciate you. Okay, next guest. We have Munachi. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
evening.
Is this your first time?
Yeah, this is my first time. This is actually my first time.
Thank you. I love to see you guys' faces. Some people just like to be keyboard warriors, then go type. I love to see your faces. But yes, thank you for joining us. What would you like to contribute?
Okay, so I've actually listed like probably 4 to 5 factors where I think is going to be key for Nigeria. First and foremost, the midfield battle, just like Smith Layi was rightly saying in the show earlier on, since midfield battle is actually going to be key to Nigeria getting a win in Kigali, because I agree with Smith Layi. The whole issue of pumping balls from the wings won't work. That's what I feel. Yes, maybe probably when we try it could work and all that, but I don't think in this case, I don't know if Amruchi was okay. I don't think he was the coach for Tunisia when they beat Iguavon. I don't think he was the one. I don't think so. But I think he's a kind of a defensive coach and he knows his onions very well. So I think Rwanda are going to be defensive, and I think midfield would work better. Then again, the second thing is selections and tactics is another factor. The coach has to get it right with selections. He has to get it right with tactics, because if those two fail, then I don't know where the World Cup ticket is going to come from again. God forbid we lose in Kigali. Then the third thing is concentration. Concentration is key for the whole of 90 plus minutes. Our players need to be switched on. They need to be switched on. Everybody is marking the man. Everybody is running. I watched John Obi Mikel's podcast where Osimhen was saying the coach wants everybody to run and work hard. So I think our concentration is going to be key, and he needs to reinforce that to the players before the match starts. Then again, which I see, I don't know, I just have that feeling that I just pray it doesn't happen. We need to take our chances as they come, please, because that's if first chance goes missing, second chance we begin to get frustrated, and the Rwandans will begin to grow in confidence. So I think if we can take our chances as they come, then we'll actually win. But I don't really see a very big win. I'll probably go with a 1-0 or 2-1. Yeah.
1-0 or 2-1. And who do you think can score a goal for Nigeria?
Probably Osimhen, and probably a thunderbolts from the midfield. Probably it could be Oyedika, it could be Aribo.
Daniel?
No. Because I don't see Papa Daniel starting. I don't know. It just depends, anyways. But I don't think he's gonna get. Probably he will get his own match time. Probably against Zimbabwe when the match when everything is done.
You don't
When
settle, then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Munachi. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you
First
very
time
much for
caller.
this opportunity. I really appreciate
Yes,
it. Thank
I
you.
appreciate your contribution.
All right.
So, like, just imagine maybe we're playing 0-0 in Kigali. Everything is tense. 88 minutes. Coach Eric Chelle just tells Papa, come on, and he comes and he strikes one shot from 40 yards, top corner.
Mhm.
Ah, what would Nigerians say?
That's why I'm saying that you never know. You never know.
Mm.
If you see him starting, don't be surprised.
Okay, welcome, Miss Adedotu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. AyoT, Smith Layi, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, thank
You're
you.
already rocking your Super Eagles jersey.
Yeah, I'm wearing white on Friday.
Mm.
Yeah, thank God that Ombweri is not a military head of state. In fact, even all the journalists too, they will end up in jail if they don't win 3-0. Thank God it's not a military head of state. What I want to say is that I don't care about people in camp now because there's something you can do. The coach has invited the 23, but I will believe that the guys in camp are capable of getting the job done.
Mm.
But what I want for our boys to do is just to kill the morale or the confidence of the Rwandese. Because beating us in Uyo, I think that thing has given them morale. In the first 10 minutes, if we can attack them, and score a goal, that will bring down their morale. And they will also know that now there's a new sheriff in town, in Eric Chelle. And people have been saying that, oh, our players, they slow, they don't play. See, I think it depends on the coach. If a coach is coming with a plan, and his plan is to press, is to attack, I think the players who want to do that. And I said last time that these guys, 90% of them, if they don't go to this World Cup, they might never get to play at the World Cup anymore. So you can see the reason why I believe that the boys will go all out smoking. And now it's not a thing of, oh, a coach that's being there based on propaganda. No, this is a coach that's just been hired and who wants to get the job done. I can see the attitude of the boys. They all came to camp. The camp is lively. If Osimhen came early, and Victor, this will be the first time they'll be playing at this World Cup qualifiers. And I'm sure the young man knows that this is his this is his chance of playing at the World Cup or not. So I just want everybody everyone that lost Nigerian football, and even those that are waiting and hoping that Chelle will fail so that they can lead Eagles to AFCON. Everybody should play right around the team. Support the coach, support the players. This is not it. And those content creators that are being banned from the camp, they should not start calling him Nuga coach. The way they tag wardrobe Nuga coach because he banned them from camp. They should please understand that these guys are here for business. So let them concentrate. And any player, I repeat player, be it Osimhen Lookman, that breaks the camp rule should be asked from the team. I think we need to start from somewhere. Should be asked from the team. And that will make all the other players to be serious. And I want to agree with Smith lineup that we need to we need to play all our midfielders. And I think when we played midfield, they will give Lookman free role. And we don't want Osimhen to be coming back to mark. No. We have four midfielders. Let our midfielder do the job so that Lookman and Osimhen can do what they are known for, kill the opponent. But my own just that the first 10-15 minutes, we should kill the morale of the Rwandese. Even that, I know what,
In recent time, their president, Paul Kagame, has been leading the team. You know, the stadium's always full. I know our players, our players are not scared of home fans. As long as their life is not being threatened, please, I believe, I don't care if it's one goal, even if it's goal match scramble, I don't mind. I just want us to have the 3 points. 1-0, we should celebrate them. 2-1, we should celebrate them. 2-0, we should celebrate them. Let them come back. Humble, please. They should come back. Let them come back home. So that's what I want. And I'm still saying it. Please, everybody, be it Coach Eguafon, be Amokas, be all the coaches that are waiting in line. Please, rally around this man, this team. Rally around Eric Chelle and his backroom staff. Rally around the boys, so that let us get what we need to 3 points. And I've been saying it, and I'll keep saying it. Politically, financially, we are not getting it right as a country. But this is that gives us joy. And I pray we get the 3 points. Thank you for having me. Smith Layi, everybody once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adedatun. Thank you. I appreciate your contribution. Victory, welcome.
Yeah,
Victory. Your
good
internet,
evening. Oh, okay, it's
allow
morning
you
here
today.
actually. Yeah, so yeah, you guys have tagged me with bad internet. Smith Layi, happy birthday. Supposed pop champagne for you.
Yes, yes.
So
We can still send the
uh,
champagne now. You will still drink.
I've been anticipating the. Did you know they fly water? So we are in Nigeria here. Sometimes champagne cannot fly water.
Yeah.
I've been anticipating this international break. Seriously, I can't wait for Eric Chelle to unleash what they have for the boys, and I think I'm liking the morale of the boys. Like what I feel, what I think is this. People may not understand. I used to tell my classmates in school and guys around my area that see. Many people have given up on Nigerian football, but they used to tell me that guy, you're young. Why do you want to kill yourself with national team? I like before any other club is Nigeria. When we were young, right, it's supposed to kneel down and pray. If this is why he's playing. So the passion is just like when you watch the people in England and France, you see that your father taking them to the stadium. So it has been with us, like growing up loving football. We love the national team, we love the colors. So I used to tell them that see, these players who want this thing more than we do. But people will not believe you because it's their career, it's their life. Do you know the things that you play football for years and you didn't go to the World Cup? Like you didn't even had one chance to be in the World Cup. So it's something that no matter how great your football history is, it's not going to be so how will I put it, lovely if you don't go to the World Cup. So speaking of which, like I said earlier on, I would have wished Jesus was here, but he's just one unlucky fellow. You understand? And I just believe one day he has his chance. I'm still hoping one day he's going to have his chance. So you get. Then Tolu Arokodare is here. I can't wait to see what he can do for the Super Eagles. I saw Boniface posted something that welcome, bro. You don't think we'll start this journey, something like that. So there's yes, and yes, in particular, those media guys should not be offended. They should not be offended. You understand? Everybody wants to do their work and they want to be lively. But let's be sincere. Sometimes those media distractions can actually affecting them sincerely. It's not that let's just say the truth. Like I think I was watching a Final Whistle, one of their podcasts, where they said that this comedian was was in the training camp. A comedian was in training camp, body face for like 24 hours before a match. You understand? So it's going to tell on their psychology and it's going to tell on the manner which you will play. You get, even if it's not going to affect them, but people will not take them serious. So going to Kigali, I love the way Kigali, like the way they welcome us. At least the boss is not like this Isakaba boss they gave us in Libya. So the unit boys have landed, and Chell is a coach that is passionate. That's something I see him as the Ansel Flick. I see him as the Ansel Flick of Africa. They have this. He has this similar. I'm a Barcelona fan, so they have these similarities between Ansel Flick and this thing. When I talk about goals, I just believe if we could take our chances early, we could get 4 to 5 goals in that match if we could take our chances early. Early, I said early. I know what I'm saying. Yeah, so if we think of that, we could get close to 4 to 5 goals, But nevertheless, the Rwanda still will not want to sleep, playing in front of their own fans and the likes. So we are going for the guys. Me, nothing will make me not watch that match. Because I can't wait for the formation, But I like the way everybody's fit, so there's no excuse of injuring and the likes, So we are waiting for what they could do. You understand? And I wish they could also bring in Papadane, I just want to see what he could do. He may not have game time, you understand, but I wish they could also feature him. I also believe there's this formation that I have in my mind. If Super Eagles can play the formation, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. I'm not a coach, but maybe we play these video games and we try many formations and actually see which one works well. If they can play a 4-1-4-1, if they can actually play a 4-1-4-1, it's going to, I don't know. But the thing is, which solid DMF do we have that will hold that that DMF, like a single DMF that will be able to stand and allow the wingers and the attacking midfielders do the work. But if you can play a 4-1-4-1, then I think we are cool because it's a massive attack, as in choking the half of the Rwandans, making sure that their defenders are on their toes, and Osimhen doing his thing. They will just have a run for their money, and I believe we'll have the 3 points needed. So,
All right.
all right. Sinlai,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday
Thank you
once
very
again, and
much,
many more
Victory. I like
years.
the way you put your points together. Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
having me.
Thank you.
All right. Final caller for the night.
Thank you for having me.
Charles, our number one super chats, fan on this channel. Thank you for joining us, Charles.
Hello. Happy birthday, Smith Layi. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
This
Thank you
this is
very
your
much.
virtual background where you give us.
Yes.
No, because like I stay here, so like it's like nighttime, so
Mm,
everybody going to bed and all that Houston. So
okay.
so yeah, definitely the match of this century, the match of their life. Honestly, like this
Man,
match
the
will
century.
the match of yes Nigeria future. Like we need to we know we have this our bunch of these our players are so talented. So I would say the match of the century for Nigeria.
Mm,
Like we need to like beat them. Like I'm not talking about 1-0, 2-0. At least we need to make a statement. I say 3-0. If it was the previous manager, I would have said like probably like 2-1 because he's
mm,
very, very tough. There's a reason why in this group, Rwanda on top. That should tell you something. Yes, they were unlucky in AFCON, but there's a reason why Rwanda are on top. Even if we check in their past 4 to 5 games, Rwanda has scored 9 goals under this coach. So that should tell you something. I don't think Nigeria scored up to 9 goals under Pesero Eguavon last year. But
mm,
under that previous coach, they scored 9 goals. So they have a record. And their physicality. So no crosses. That's why I put a 4-5-1. Lookman, Simon Moses, and Iwobi. If you check, these three guys are dribblers. They will dribble the hell out of you. I
mm,
put Osimhen. If you notice, Osimhen has up his game a notch. Like now he's now before he was running. Now running and pressing. Now he's now positional play. Like 1 minute you see him, the next minute he gone. 1 minute
mm,
he's on your shoulder, next minute he's behind. 1 minute he's beating offside trap. But my one is that he should try to that offside awareness. He should yeah, that should yeah, he needs to be careful about that. That sometimes you can beat the trap, but he needs to be careful about that because I've been watching some of his goals he scored I saw offside. But yeah, Osimhen up his game. Just put a 4-5-1, put Ekong, because Ekong is ages, so we need that speed. Yeah, he's agile and all that, but we need that speed, that bull. And that's why I said I prefer Igor Obu to Bassi, because Bassi is prone to long balls. Like long balls that he most times he's prone to it. Then on left back, and according to what I heard, what I read, Bassi love going forward. And if you
mm,
check between him, Bruno, and Zaidu, his crosses are very accurate. So in
mm,
case we need that, like diamond stuff, we can give it to Bassi. Even if you check, see that's his first goal for Nigeria. He came through Bassi flank. He crossed the ball and he nodded it home. So Bassi on left back, Aina right back. The two of them great crossers, very good at defending.
mm,
Then midfield, Ndidi. midfield engine, obviously. So you pair him up with Onyedika, who has enough energy, who can run. Then up front, them three. Lookman on the left, he will be on the right. Moses Simon through the middle. Because Simon has that passes. He can give vision. He can dribble. So you need that thought of magic.
Simon through the middle.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay,
So
interesting.
and Osimhen up front. Then we keep Chukwueze on the bench. Chukwueze should be our trump card. Chukwueze and maybe Aribo.
Hmm.
Maybe Aribo. Chukwueze and maybe Aribo. Because Aribo is built for this man game. He can press. But my thing is Aribo is not that physical. Like Rwanda, like I said, Rwandans are very, very physical. The only way to counter their attack is play to the middle. Don't cross. If you cross, you will not get anything. If you check Guavons, when Guavons played them in that AFCON, he was just they were crossing, crossing, crossing. Even that look Mangro was through a crossing. But they need to not cross, they need to go through the middle. If you check Chukwueze's goal, individual brilliance, he dribbled and dribbled and dribbled and dribbled and did not expect that goal. So what right now, Nigeria's success is go to the middle, dribble, and your big game players make smart runs. Prove to them that you're professionals. Prove to them make smart runs. If it don't play as a team, maybe if you go 2-0 up, then you can be selfish. But right now, Nigeria should win them 3-0 because this their new coach. No, he's not as good as respectfully. He's not as good as the other one. The previous one's way more better. So yeah, I prefer him. That's my own take. That's my own take because we should not concede no set piece, no corners, no nothing because those guys will try to get fouls. Like if they get fouls and they cross it, you're finished. So please, Nigeria, we should not concede anything. Just don't play through the flank. Okay, crosses maybe one, maybe occasionally, but your main should be in the middle and you press them. You press them. You need to press them aggressively because they will try to use that physicality against you. And Osimhen is very strong. Even Boniface is very strong. Boniface should come in, but you need to press them on. Don't cross. Go to the middle, attack them, and who knows? Or if possible, Lookman can play through that middle instead of Simon. Lookman is a little bit better. He can play through that middle instead of Simon. Simon can play on the left. Lookman through the middle. You will be on the right. Osimhen up front. Lookman is a little bit better. Yes, Lookman is better because I feel like he has that vision. He can play. He can do everything. His hold play is good and all that. So even if things are not going well, we can adapt. But at least Nigeria should beat these guys nothing less than 2. If it's 1, no problem. I'll congratulate them. But I saw their training. The Rwandans, the Rwandese or Rwandans. They have been training since Friday. And if you check high intensity training, they're not joking. They are not playing. They want to make a statement. They want to go to the World Cup. It will be such a shame for us diasporans, me and IoT. We will not see our Nigeria, our darling Super Eagles over
Even
here.
Smith Layi go travel for World Cup.
Over here because it's like a home game for Nigeria. It's like a home game. Do you know how many Africans, Nigerians, that support the Super Eagles? Come on. In Houston alone is mini Lagos. Houston alone is mini Lagos. Dallas, all of them, Atlanta. So it will be a shame the giant of Africa is not here. One of the best attacking talent in Africa is not here. Please, we need to go to this World Cup for their sake and make a statement.
Thank
Because
you.
if you notice,
30
Haaland,
seconds. We have to wrap up. Just quickly.
okay, Haaland, people say hey, Haaland is not that good, blah blah blah, because he hasn't been in the World Cup. They're comparing him and Osimhen. But please, for Osimhen's sake, for his legacy, he needs to be at that World Cup. He needs to. We need to beat them seriously. And I love Chelle. Chelle is so passionate. He wants to make a statement. He really wants to make a statement. If Chelle can turn things around and make Nigeria qualify for the World Cup, it will boost his CV up. Seriously, it will boost his CV up so high. So please, all hands on deck. All hands on deck. So please.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Charles. Nice to hear from you, and thank you for your support,
Yeah.
as always. Okay, there we have it, guys. There we have it. That brings us to the end of today's conversation. Loaded conversation on everything as we previewed the game between the Amavubi of Rwanda and, of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria coming up on Friday, March 21st. The game kicks off at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 12 a.m. Sorry, 12 p.m. Eastern. That's noon Eastern time. 11 a.m. Pacific. No, what am I saying? 11 a.m. Mountain time. 9 a.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. West African time. 4 p.m. UK time. 6 p.m. Central European time, and I think 1 a.m. in China, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere like that. But yes, thank you very much, guys. Of course, on Friday, I'm going to be live on YouTube for a watch along. So if you want to go through the emotions with me, you want to feel the feels with me, you want that live commentary, engage. We can talk about the game as the game is going on. We can be happy together. We can vex for players when they make mistakes together. Join me live on YouTube. I'm going to be live 10 minutes before the match to just quickly talk about it. And then, of course, do the live reactions. And then after the game, I'm going to have a post-match live show as well. It's going to be an exciting one, and then we'll do the same thing again for the game coming up against Zimbabwe. I think the Zimbabwe game is next Tuesday, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Tuesday. So I think after that Zimbabwe game, we'll have Naija FC podcast at night. So we'll be able to debrief everything that happened in that game. But yes, it should be an exciting one. And I enjoyed today's show, even though we ran long as we always do. But I enjoyed today's show. Of course, in the comments, let us know your final score prediction. Let us know your final score prediction. Even if you are watching this on replay or you are listening on Spotify, you can always leave a comment or on Apple Podcast and let us know your final score prediction. Who you think can be the game changers, who you think can be the key players, and where you think this game can be won or lost for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And if you are from Rwanda and you happen to be watching and listening to us, feel free to let us know what you think about your own team and where you think your team can capitalize on, our lapses and get a positive result in this game. It is a must-win game for Eric Chelle. It is a must-win game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. If we are supposed to qualify for the World Cup in 2026, we need to turn things around starting from Friday. Of course, before the game on Friday, there's still going to be more content on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure you turn on the notifications because we are going to have a lot more to discuss. Smith Layi, Friday is the day of the game. Are you going to do your show on Friday?
Yeah. The night, later the night.
Okay. So Friday nights after, you can join Smith Layi as well on Gun Football. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well for Friday Night Football Club. Where Smith Layi always goes into the tactics, the analysis, proper deep dive into it, and it should be an exciting show. We thank you very much once again to everybody. Please go check out some of the previous contents that I've already posted on YouTube about this game. There's a few things that I spoke about in those other videos that would not necessarily cover today. It's an exciting one. I'm really, really pumped up for the match. And Niger players, please, Super Eagles players. I don't know if one of them is watching, but if they are, please,
Should be
you
sleeping.
guys. Well, they should be sleeping. Well, maybe they are watching on replay. Tomorrow. So please get the job done for us. Shout out to Eric Chelle. We are rooting for you. We are wishing you all the very best. Smith Layi, final word for me before we go.
Just support him, believe in him. I can see a former Nigerian international saying that a Malian, he's putting the green jersey on now. Support. If you can even ask you to go and do DNA test, it's from maybe it's from Port Harcourt.
I mean, see all these country things. Thomas Tuchel is the coach of England. He's a German man. All these things don't really matter as long as somebody comes to do the job. Their loyalty is with us. They want to give us the best possible results. And the everything that the man has shown so far, from the way he's speaking to the way he's trying to connect with the players, is showing positive signs. It's now just left for him to be able to translate it to the players on the training ground, and of course for the players to be able to translate that to quality performance on Friday. I'm excited for this game. Don't spoil Smith Layi's birthday, and they should not spoil my own birthday that is coming up too, as well. But yes, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, you can still leave a super chat. I see. Shout out to Charles. Says thank you very much, Charles. Thank you as well. You guys can still leave a super chat. If you want to become a member of the channel to enjoy exclusive content, exclusive perks, you can also join the channel as a member. And of course, even if you are watching on replay, you can still leave a gift. You can still, support the channel. And of course, if you want to get your Nigeria football merchandise, we have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have phone cases, and we have a lot more. Make sure you check out our website, eaglestrackershop.com. eaglestrackershop.com for a wide range of Nigerian football merchandise. And we have some new stuff that's going to be launching later in the year when it's getting closer to the AFCON time.
Mhm.
And we're finalizing conversations with a new partner in Nigeria to produce the merchandise so that we're able to offer customers in Nigeria at an affordable rate and they don't have to pay big money to get it shipped from abroad to Nigeria. We're talking to somebody that's going to help us to quality control, make sure that we're still delivering high quality products, but at a lower rate for our fans and audience in Nigeria. And yes, I hope that they have enough water just in case Eric Chelle needs to cool down.